should have never, never let you go, let you leave. I realize that you are sunlight in my life, and I think that I need you to shine by my side. And the nights that I'm not sleeping, I only wanna feel your weight next to me. And so good to you. I know I've got a lot to lose. I realize that you are the sunlight in my life. I think that I need you to shine by my side. And the nights that I'm not sleeping, I only wanna feel you laying next to me. And the beats my heart is skipping, maybe 'cause I'm missing when you awaken me. And the nights that I'm not sleeping, I only wanna feel you laying next to me. And the beats my heart is skipping, maybe 'cause I'm missing when you awaken me.
I don't think I do know how this show goes. I don't even know the name of this show, Jesse.
I don't know the name of the show either, Evan, but we're back to it. Take us away. Lead us off. Take us away.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the final episode of the America Summit recap show that still doesn't have a title. I'm still Evan, and this is still Jesse. What's up, Jesse?
How's it going, guys?
I'm still Evan, and this is still Jesse. What's going on, Jesse?
That's right. How's it going, Evan? Good to see you again, brother. Computer.
Okay.
Let's talk about the games and everything that went down last week.
That's a great idea, Jesse. So first, why don't we start by checking out the leaderboard? What are the current standings?
That's right, Evan. As you can see, this is the leaderboard. So this is the standing of America's Summit. These are going to be the top 4 teams that you'll be seeing going into that bracket phase of the tournament. As you can see clearly, in first place is going to be Chaos. Second place, we have Parceros. Third place, Skills over Bills. And in fourth place, that's True Will's team with Good Luck, Have Fun.
So, Jesse, given that this is a new format coming out of the round-robin zone of the game and going into an actual structured bracket, how are we going to resolve things like tiebreakers going into this?
So the tiebreaker system is going to work like this. Trial by combat, basically, is the best way I can explain it to you. Team captains will choose a representative, whether that's themselves or, once again, a representative from their team, to then battle in a 1v1 against an opposing team's representative. Again, trial by combat is the best way that I could describe this method to you. Sudden death match.
We'll see you this Friday for the grand finals of the America Summit 2026.
That's right. So be there or be square.
That's awesome, dude. Thanks. I love it when you just nuked the energy.
Wait after.
That think that I need you to shine by my side. And the nights that I'm not sleeping, I only wanna feel you laying next to me. And the nights my heart is skipping, maybe 'cause I'm missing what you awaken me. And the nights that I'm not sleeping, I only wanna feel you laying next to me. And the nights my heart is skipping, maybe 'cause I'm missing what you awaken me.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Americas Summit 2026, this time for the Grand Finals. My name is Evan, and with me at the virtual desk, yet again, it's Topa V and Sean B. Topa, let's start with you. How are you feeling today, man?
I'm feeling absolutely great. We are at the summit of the summit. This is the peak of the competition. Unfortunately, we have had to say goodbye to a couple of our teams, but we have 4 more teams still fighting for those top spots.
Yeah, that's right. So, Sean, this is where it all goes down, man.
Yeah, this is where skill truly shine, and this is gonna be the very last chance. So they gotta win today. They gotta win many matches today.
Yeah, dang Skippy, dude. It's challenge mode, guys, and this time it's in a bracket. So now we've narrowed down our 6 teams to 4, and we've put them in a bracket. We're through the round robin phase where they accumulated points to get the best seeding possible for today. And of course, this is where we decide who gets the lion's share of this $10,000 prize pool, with first place taking home $5,000, second place $3,500, third $2,500, and fourth is $800. This is where it's all on the line, guys, and so we're starting off in our semifinals with Chaos versus Good Luck Have Fun. Then we go down to Parceros versus Skills Over Bills. Largely, a lot of the background stuff that you've been familiarized with over the course of these last few weeks is still in play today. So these teams still have a few items at their disposal. They can still last-minute swap if they want to with the Devilmon, or they also have a couple Angelmon at their disposal. They've got the Water Angelmon, which allows them to pre-ban a monster before we get into the games. They'll have to discuss to figure out what that monster is. And then we've also got the Fire Angelmon, which allows them to make their opponent force pick a monster if it appears in their lineup. Now, the only one that isn't making an appearance this week will be the Wind one, because there's no more need for points, and the Wind Angelmon affected point totals. For those unaware, it allowed them to elect one member of the team where if they win, they get a bonus point. But the days of points are behind us, Topa. Now it's time to throw down, baby.
Yeah, they are. The points have been reset. There's no more points. So now, it really just, you got those 4 matchups, and who can take 3 out of those 4 will be moving on to the next round. And there's something worth noting. Obviously, with 4 players, we could have a tie of 2-2. So we do have a tiebreaker set in place, which is going to be each team chooses one player to go head-to-head against the other team's chosen player, and the winner of that will take all.
Exactly. So there's something in there for every possible situation. And just so everyone's aware too, there's 4 players on each team. Now, with that said, if there's ever a situation where a team is leading by 3 points, like a 3-0 situation, we won't play out that 4th round. We're just going to jump straight into the next one, because by that point, they will have gotten a majority of the wins possible today. So, Sean, tell me, what are you looking forward to seeing most today from these players?
I can't wait to see the Angelmon being used again, because you can all experience challenge mode in game for yourself, but only in the America Summit you can see pre-ban and pre-pick in the tournament. So that is very, very exciting, because for the past many weeks we have seen a lot of pre-pick been applied to the opponent team and absolutely crush their strategy from top to bottom, because they have to pick unit like Triton or Chiwu, which doesn't really fit the challenge mode meta, and that completely ruin the enemy. And this is where people use the rules to their maximum potential.
Yeah, and staying on your experience there for a second, Sean, because you were talking about how you were dipping more into challenge mode following the summit as well. So like, while you were out there, what were you playing? What did you feel like? What was the hardest strategy you had to counter? Like, what was your experience out there?
So I was playing a lot of challenge mode myself, because I was playing a new account in Summoners War, and I gotta say, the new Summoners War, absolutely a banger update. And when you farm in the background, because the game quality of life is insane nowadays, you can experience PvP immediately as well. So challenge mode allow new players to pretty much play against anyone with a very well built roster. And if you understand the bruiser meta really well, and you pick up a healer or 2 in between, you pick up some good damage deal like Karno, like Wind Bayak, Shahat, very, very strong monster, and it can allow you to get a lot of cheeky wins in the challenge mode. And that is where you get a lot of scroll for summon as well. So a lot of good stuff waiting for new players in summon as well.
Yeah, that's a great point too. So chat, if you haven't gotten into challenge mode yet, after the tournament today, or maybe during it, after you've taken some time to kind of soak in what these pro guys have been doing over these weeks, because they've had a lot of experience, so you can benefit from all this homework here and apply it to your own challenge mode games. You should go in there, because like Sean mentioned, there's some really good rewards. Like, suspiciously good stuff is tied to the challenge mode, and I love that notion of like, this is where players can really learn how to like build synergies with their team in a way that the support roster really couldn't. Now, with that said, Topa, for people who might be trying to go into challenge mode for the first time, what advice would you give them?
Oh man, that's going to be a pretty hard one. I mean, usually the way I like to learn the game is just looking at examples, right? So as you mentioned, take some inspiration from these pro players here that are playing today. They're going to be bringing probably some sort of bruiser drafts, right? So what mods will that include? It's probably going to be Chows, Shahats, Cardinals, Werners as like the damage dealers, and then you typically want to round that out with some sort of sustain. So you want to have an Angela or Riley, maybe a Villajul, or even a Kumar in there.
Yeah, dude, all roads lead to Chow and Kumar. Yeah, Kumar's great tech. We've been pretty consistently surprised by him, I'd say. He's just got a lot of utility, chat. That's one of those monsters with the Oblivion on skill 1, the Cleanse on skill 2, as well as the skill 3 that's super effective. I think the Oblivion is probably my favorite part of the whole kit, to be honest. That's definitely a must pick if you find yourself up against a ton of passes. Guys, like we mentioned at the bracket screen, we got Chaos versus Good Luck Have Fun queuing up here to begin. Now, they have already set out, they've gotten to choose what players are going up against whom. So now we'll probably get to see the layout here in a second of which players are going to be fighting against each other. It should be noted, if this is your first time joining us for one of these Summit games, these players are the ones that get to choose the matchups, and they also get to be on call with their team the whole time. So there is a lot of team strategy in the background, for better or worse, right, Topa? You can have your team yelling in your ear.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I mean, for Chaos, it's definitely seemed to be working, as Chaos is our #1 seed in today's tournament. So they're probably pretty confident in coming to today's tournament here. And GLHF, they actually just barely made the cutoff. They had the same amount of points as Banana Boys, who unfortunately got eliminated due to a tiebreaker there. So GLHF is kind of the underdogs coming in this, which is interesting to see, as obviously the captain of that team is True Whale, who is very much a household name in Summoners War.
Yes, and soon we're going to get to hear their thought process behind the Water Angelmon, the pre-ban, and the Fire Angelmon, which is that force pick. So Sean, earlier you highlighted the Triton and the Chiwu, which we've seen for a few weeks now as being the main targets for the force pick slot. Now, with that in mind, which of those two options do you think is the optimal force pick?
I think Triton is probably going to be the optimal force pick because Triton doesn't bring even a speed lead for the team, because we've seen Chiwu providing at least a speed lead so that he could be useful while doing absolutely nothing. But Triton could potentially be doing absolutely nothing to the enemy team if they pick a fire unit, if they pick unit that don't really care about their active skill. So Triton can truly be a bad draft in the challenge mode where people can turtle up with a lot of strong bruiser units.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that 24% speed lead from Chiwu offers a little bit more validity, I'd say. It's still hard to pick with, but I agree that I think Triton is probably the toughest out of both. But what about you, Topa? Do you agree with that sentiment?
Yeah, I would have agree with that. One more thing to add is, obviously the skill 2s do differ. Skill 3 is that AoE buff removal and pushback on both monsters. But skill 2, Triton has that AoE silence, but as Sean mentioned, there's a lot of units that don't really care about active skills. Like you pick a Vertihile, you probably don't even want to use that skill 2 on the Triton. And Chiwu's skill 2, it can do pretty good damage. That Chiwu's built on a crit damage build, and that skill 2 is an auto crit skill. So if you have a defense break with that, we saw a couple of Chiwu's doing in the late game about like 7,000 hit with that, so like 15,000 damage close to.
Exactly, and there's good luck, have fun. They might be discussing which monsters to pre-ban right now. Maybe we can listen in to see what they're doing. Not seeing a lot of mouth movement, though. They might be just considering right now. There's a lot of decisions to be made in this last one here, because, we're asking, it's like, how do you think about these matchups? Do you want to swap anything last second? What are you forcing your opponents to pick? What do you want to pre-ban? And then we start getting into the weeds right now, Sean, is like, do you pre-ban something because you're afraid that your opponent is going to make you force pick it? Or do you actually pre-ban an important monster that you genuinely don't want to fight against? Where do you stand on that?
I think we have seen both of these scenarios played out, and it can be very risky to pre-ban the unit that are strong in the challenge mode, because that unit could easily fall onto your team's hand 4 rounds in a row, like the Wanta Werner that we've seen from time to time that gets pre-banned and then suddenly is on your team for the entire duration. So that could be a very tricky move. So I think pre-banning the weak monster usually is the better move in the challenge mode, because at least you don't play with a unit and you don't have to play with a unit. Or you can pre-ban something random just for the fun of it, like pre-ban a She-Hulk or something.
Yeah, I tend to fall in the same category. I think it might be best and the least amount of hindrance on yourself if you were to pre-ban one of the weaker monsters, so that way you aren't inclined to force pick it down the line. We have seen Werner being a really popular pre-ban, but yeah, Topa, I'd rather have him as an option for me, but what do you think?
Yeah, for sure. I think, we've seen both, as Sean mentioned, but I think ultimately what comes out on top and has earned the teams, or has denied the opposing team the most points, is that, just picking a monster that you don't want to play, because it's just so volatile, right? If you pick the strongest monster banned out, and then you have the strongest monster all 4 games, you're just limiting yourself so hard. But if you just kind of freeing yourself up even more, so, that you don't have to pick that bad unit, I do think the Water Angelmon is better used to just counter the Fire Angelmon, which seems to be the stronger one out of the two.
Exactly. Chat, we are gearing up here. Again, there's a lot on the line. We're playing for a $10,000 prize pool. Everything up until this point was just trying to get seating on the bracket. Now take a look at this. This is where our players are going to match up against each other, and they're going to throw down here in a second. Match number 1, we got Zezas versus Dark Garchomp. We got Lordo versus Vinny coming up in match 2. AGS is Zayani, H Season versus Jeff Boladao. Stay Hive versus True Whale to wrap it up towards the end there. Jeff Polidel, Topa, has been a really consistently good player in this tournament.
Yeah, he really has been, and Jeff Polidel actually is on a tear on the ladder as well. I believe he's in the top 10 in current RTA ladder right now, so very smart player, very capable player. Obviously has participated in SWCs before, has been in the Summit before, so yeah, interesting, or very excited to see what he's going to be bringing to the table here today.
Yeah, me too. I'm looking forward to any particular matchup or person that you've seen is performing very well in isolation, Sean, from these matches here.
I'm kind of interested in the match number 4 right there between True Whale and Stay Hive, because they are both wearing their SWC America team jersey as well. So that's going to be a match of the professional. So that's going to be cool to look forward to.
Yeah, this is a cool moment. Like the Americas Summit this year has been a very fun way to see. It's like, okay, we got all these SWC minds. We got these super pro players from the competitive scene. It's like now all else equal. How well can you think on your feet? How well can you improv, And you also have a team backing behind it too. So it isn't you in isolation, which is a very fun little angle here. But guys, again, this is where everything is on the line, chat. So if you made it today and you haven't seen the ones prior, I'm glad you made it to this one, because this is the one where everything truly, truly matters. It's all been for seeding up until now. So stay tuned while we get these players ready here. We'll see what they want to pre-ban, what they want to make their opponents force pick, and then we'll get into it. It is best of 1 for each player. So everybody has to show up or sit down for their team. They got one chance to win. And it's now we're counting wins against the enemy team. If there's ever a point where it's 2-2, they'll have to field one player as their representative in a trial by combat, a final showdown between the two teams. So stay tuned for that. And again, if we're ever in a 3-0 situation, we're going to skip that last game. Okay, so now, as we get into these games here, we're waiting to hear the pre-bans and the force picks. I want to hear from both of you guys what your MVP monster has been. Topa, we'll start with you. Which monsters do you feel like have particularly shown throughout these weeks of tournament?
I'm gonna leave the obvious answer in the Werner out of this question, because I feel like Werner is pretty much the obvious answer. He always continues to impress us, and I'm gonna go for a bit more of a boring answer here, but I'm gonna say Angela. I mean, since like Gandalf got removed, like Angela has still been very powerful in providing the cleansing and the healing, and even the shielding, right? Like it doesn't have a reflect debuff, but that passive of Angela does do reflect damage on that shield. So Angela is a very strong support monster, sustain monster, and that seems to prove extremely valuable in challenge mode.
Yeah, we're similarly minded. I was actually going to say, because I also was going to avoid Werner just because we talked about him a lot. I was going to say Riley. Riley weirdly like sustains a game. She'll keep teams going way longer than they should, to be totally honest. Sean, what about you?
I think for me, it's going to be the win. The win. What do you call that thing? Desert Warrior.
Yeah,
I think he is one of the more underrated unit overall in the game, because he's not like really flashy, right? He goes in and he put a dot, so it kind of feels like a TOA unit. But in this mode where everything is so tanky, dot don't really care about your artifact. Dot just kill you straight up, and he moves so often. It's always fun to see. And really excited to see him every single time.
Look at this, guys. We got a new entry in the force pick slot here. Chaos is forcing Good Luck Have Fun to pick Duke on there. And then we also have a cancel out here with the force pick of Chiwoo with the pre-ban. And then there is a pre-ban on Triton as well. So Chiwoo and Triton are off limits. And Good Luck Have Fun has to pick Duke if he's available. What do you think of that, Topa?
Ooh, that's very interesting. I don't hate it. I think Duke, it's one of those monsters pretty strong in the regular RTA, because there's not that many people running around with minus fire on their units. But in challenge mode, there's a lot of minus elements on those monsters. So that Duke doesn't do that, and the units are naturally tanky, so that unit does not do a whole lot of damage in the challenge mode. And also interesting to note that both teams used their Devilmon, and they actually swapped the matchups just around. Match 1, which was match 4 previously, has obviously, swapped places. So Stay High vs True Whale, we now get Sean's most wanted matchup here right off the get-go.
Nice. There you go. Look at that, Sean.
Did they just both use the same, on the same spot? So like, True Whale, let me go first. Let me handle Zayza's. And then Zayza's like, nah, fam. Nah,
look at that. Wow.
Bye.
Same page. That's crazy. So yeah, very interesting setup here. So again, guys, So in this situation, True Whale has to pick up Duke if it's available, and both teams cannot pick Triton or Chiwu. So this is a very interesting, very new setup for these two Angel Mons that have been used. Chat, we're getting into it, our first matchup at the grand finals of the Americas Summit for 2026. Let's see who can secure the first dub for their team on the way to victory here in the grand finals. Stay High versus True Whale. We're coming up here, guys. This is going to be real exciting. Again, True Whale has to pick Duke if he appears. Triton and Chiwu are banned. They will not be making an appearance. Honestly, probably for the better, Topa.
Probably for the better. And yeah, that Duke force pick is also interesting in the sense that that's a monster that you're probably not going to expect to be force picked, right? So Team GLH, they actually pre-banned the Triton, right? And obviously no one wants to pick a Triton, so they were pre-banned that Triton assuming that Team Chaos was going to make them force pick that. But in making them force pick the Duke, that's a monster that probably wasn't on anyone's radar. So that's going to be a very like secure force pick that your opponent's going to be left with. That's not going to be, you know, providing a whole line in the matchup.
All right, here we go, guys. Stay High versus True Whale. Take it away, Topa and Sean.
Oh, we are seeing the Duke on, I think, on the left team, right? So True Whale don't have to pick that unit. And we are seeing all the good stuff going for Stay High right there. We've got the Werner, we've got the Shahad, and he is taking that immediately in the first turn.
Yeah, no surprise right there. So no force picks in this match as yeah, the Duke is on the wrong side. But True Whale is playing with a box of 12 monsters as opposed to 14, as both of those AoE buff removers are off limits for him. And True Whale's box is looking a bit dicey here. There's a Kumar that is going to be actually first picked by True Whale, and also picking up that Wind Monkey, trying to counter the Werner, but it hasn't been doing so well.
Also remember, guys, that the Wind Monkey in the challenge mode is extremely tanky, but deal very little damage. So even though it's supposed to counter water unit, it doesn't do the job that job that you expect him to do too well.
Yeah, it really doesn't. There we see Stay High picking up Evan's MVP monster in the Riley, making it to the draft. Also paired with that Fire Megumi, looking to get those stuns. Obviously, there are no water monsters on True Whale's side just yet, so that Megumi is going to be taking a lot of turns, especially against all those counters that Xingje is going to be dishing out.
All right, Heigang getting picked up right there to counter the Fire Megumi, but it only truly counter Fire Megumi if you have some sort of buff constantly going up on your team. So after the turn one, the Heigang passive get reduced to kind of half. So we have the Siren getting picked up as well to deal with the Fire Megumi, but Stay Hive can go for more water unit here, like Wusa, Shiho, and Shizuka to sort of negate that as well.
I'm not a huge fan of this Heigang pick. There are 0 buffs on True Whale's side, so the Heigang's not going to be getting much passive value throughout the match here. It does somewhat limit Stay Hive here, so they have probably would want to go immunity playstyle to counter Tessarion, and that's what Stay Hive is going to be doing here anyways, with the Shizuka and that Shiho. So a lot of very nice combos for that Shizuka as well, getting that invisibility, the defense buff from the Werner, attack buff from the Riley, and True Whale wisely pick up a Dyna last pick that's probably just going to be banned out.
Yep, Dyna going up, and Dyna's probably going down as well. And Stay Hive team is looking really strong, but this is challenge mode where anything can happen, just like the normal RTA mode, because these units are run really, really well. So even if you are a veteran player, when you look at these builds, you'll be like, wow, they have way better runes than I am after like 12 years. It's pretty crazy. We have Dyna banned. We have Riley getting banned out. 2 strong wind powerhouse. And Stay Hive is locking in without healer, while True Whale does have a little bit of healing.
And True Whale does have that healing advantage going on, but Shizuka is a lot of protection, a lot of debuffs on the opposing side. So True Whale's really counting this Heigang to either Despair stun to Shizuka or the Kumar to somehow land a miraculous silence with that skill tree on the Shizuka. So I do still think this draft favors Stay Hive. He does have quite a bit of control as well, and a lot of damage from the Werner and the Water Monkey here.
Here we go. Shiho going in hard with a skill 3, landing it straight onto the Tessarion. And we have a counter stun immediately as well, ignoring the invincibility, going straight for the immunity.
Yeah, okay, that's a pretty good, solid performance from the Wind Monkey right off the get-go here. But he does also get defense broken here. Can he get another counter here? Does get another counter, and once again removes the correct buff there and stuns the Werner. So this is Xingje. It really hurt all the trash we're talking, and he came to play here.
Yep, Xingje is doing really, really well. But remember, guys, stun is not a real debuff until they're actually dead. So this will slow down the momentum of Stay Hive a little bit. but Truel gotta really pump the damage in if he wants the stun to mean something.
Yeah, the Shizuka was not buffing. Interesting, Truel chose to keep the Hey Gang skill 2 AOR buffer mover there. So Shizuka still has immunity, therefore Kumar cannot silence, and now the skill 3 is going to be coming out. And that's a lot of debuffs on Truel's side, and Stay Hive is very nice protected.
Oh, very well protected, and the stun from the Wind Monkey kind of didn't really mean anything anymore, because now Stay Hive is the one on the right foot and getting a lot of value in with the Shizuka skill 3, buying time for the stun unit. Now he can do a lot of damage to them.
The Shizuka also has that skill to lower the cooldown of the burner, and that burner is going to be doing a lot of damage. Now his defense buff as well for the skill 2. Ooh, Wind Monkey might have something to say about that. Does get a violent proc out. Is he going to go for the stun, or does he just go for the defense break to lower the damage? Goes to the defense break.
Yeah, he's waiting for the stun to happen once again when this unit decides to go for the AoE, which he probably will at some point, but he's going to go for the skill 1 as well onto the monkey, trying to stop the monkey from stunning any further.
Unfortunately for him, does not connect that stun, and the Shiho also not connecting the stun, but neither is the Wind Monkey. Nobody's stunning anymore. Megumi, can Megumi get a stun here? Probably going to Kumar, does get that stun to deny any sort of healing coming out of Kumar. So Hagen finally takes a turn now, but there's not really any more buffs left once they have side. Does get one stun at least and a couple glances.
Oh, beautiful stun to fire Megumi right there, but as you can see, even though a lot of stun have been dished out by the Wind Monkey, Stay Hive team looked like they were barely touched. Not a lot of damage from the Wind Monkey. Meanwhile, Truel, who's been doing a lot of stun, is losing his first unit.
Yeah, the Saurian will be going down here. This Shiho skill 3, and that's good. Oh, okay, I'll just go for a stun on the Kumar instead of... Look, no, that's very, very well calculated there. Does know that he has the burner skill 2. I think he already had that skill 2 before that Shizuka used that skill 2 on it. Wind Monkey getting another revenge stun, but, I mean, the HP bar is not moving on that monster, Sean.
Yeah, Wind Monkey, just like your axe, try to give you hope, but doesn't really amount to anything at the end of the day, unfortunately. Like, she's just stunning, but like, what's the point if you're not really doing anything after that? It's literally potential, man, working over there for Truel.
It really is the Wind Monkey trying its hardest, but really not doing any damage here. Even without any heals, as mentioned on Stay Hive's side, his team is still very healthy. I mean, Shizuka has maybe lost 5% health. A single dot would have done more than that.
Yeah, unfortunately, Hey Gang draft did not really do too well for Truel, because the Hey Gang didn't really do much the entire fight. The strip doesn't mean much, and after that, he is as useful as a tree at this point. No damage. The passive doesn't work because there's no buff on Truel's side, and he doesn't do anything.
Yeah, I was really surprised to see Truel picking up that Hey Gang. Hey Gang's monster we actually haven't seen a whole lot in the challenge mode throughout all these weeks. Wow, look at that Wind Monkey though. Threw 4 buffs. I mean, what a sniper right there. But once again, I mean, it's not doing any damage because there's invisibility on that monster. But yeah, the Hey Gang, they're not fighting much, and it almost feels like a Triton in this matchup. It has very similar level of use to the Triton in this matchup here.
Once again, Wind Monkey just giving Truel hope. One turn after another, doing those beautiful stuns through 2, 3, 4, 5 buff. But there's just no follow-up, unfortunately. If Truel replace Hey Gang with even a Chow, I think that's gonna make quite an impact on the side of Stay Hive, but unfortunately, it's just not happening.
It definitely would have, but Truel's monster box, it was quite limited, to be honest. I think he definitely got a short end of the stick. First of all, he had both of the band monsters in his box. Well, I mean, those band monsters are quite used in the first place, but still, you know, it's less monsters, your available draft. And even the monster that he did have available, he didn't have very good counters. This very strong combo that Stay Hive had with, you know, very of our MVP monsters.
And Hey Gang, also in the normal RTA mode, is one of the most drafted unit across multiple different rank, especially the lower rank. And he, for a long time now, he's been roughly negative below 50% win rate across different kind of rank as well. So Hey Gang, even on paper, is absolutely insane, but if you don't draft him in the right spot and give him buffers, he's just not going to do a whole lot as well.
And Truel is somehow hanging on here. Stay Hive getting a bit greedy there, going for the Shiho skill 3 on the Hey Gang, not finish off the Kumar, so Kumar does get that healing off on the Wind Monkey. I don't think it'll amount to a whole lot here either, and that's a lot of damage from the burn. I mean, Kumar almost drops immediately that right away. Does have skill 3 available, could violent proc into a heal, maybe giving Truel a bit more hope, but this is looking very far-fetched. No violent proc, and I believe that is going to be it for this game.
Unfortunately, Wind Monkey is finally going down after doing so much for True Whale, but that was just simply not enough. Wind Monkey's going down, Kumar Lawan standing, and Stay Hive, the man, the myth, the legend, is going to take the first game away from none other than True Whale.
Yeah, Stay Hive gets that first dub for Chaos. Man, okay, so True Whale lost their Topa, but that was, I don't think that was Jingjae's fault. I have never seen a smarter Monkey King, to be honest. Dude knew exactly where the will was and stripped it every time.
Yeah, that was a phenomenal Zingzai performance. But I mean, even with all of those stuns and everything, like if that Zingzai wasn't a damage build, it would have done the same stunning, and it also would have actually deleted those monsters off the field. So it still kind of comes to that issue of, it just doesn't have the damage. Sure, you can stun, but like Sean mentioned, it doesn't really amount to anything at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's like you said, Sean. Yeah, it's not real until the monster's gone.
Exactly. Stun is not a real debuff, guys. Believe it. So we're moving on to the next round very, very soon here. And I think Xingzhe has been proving to be not a whole lot of problem week after week now. Even though on paper, he is the sort of good draft in a position with a speed lead, countering AoE water unit. But these players keep going back in with AoE water unit, like Wind Monkey is not really a real threat anymore.
Yeah, and it's one of those situations too where he was functionally an optimal pick there. There was multiple like AoE attacks, that he seems good on paper up against Werner. But I have to say something too about Stay Hive's restraint with using skill 2 on Werner. He was waiting until he was either at parity with defense of his starting defense or when he had the defense buff attached. Like he wasn't quick to just use it when he was glanced or anything like that, and it ended up being way more potent that way too. Here we go, guys. Lordo versus Vinny in the second set here, the second matchup in Chaos versus Good Luck Have Fun. Remember, Good Luck Have Fun has to pick Duke if it appears, and it looks like he is there in the pre-ban phase. All right, everybody, take it away, Topa and Sean, for round 2 here.
There he definitely is, Fire Duke. First pick, lock it in, and Artorias or Lordo here does have the Trident in his box, but that won't be drafted, and Vinny does have that Chibu, so both players playing 13 monsters, but Vinny only can choose from 12 of them as one of them is forced, and he does have this Burner, which is very nice, though.
And I also like Duke a lot. I'm not sure what is the plan with the pre-pick Duke, because he's like the modern day Molong, right? He deal each damage scale straight into your HP. But he has to not glance, which is a small problem. But then he brings a lot of momentum to the team with the attack by boost, the stun, the provoke in between. So he can be quite scary in the right draft. And I think there are many targets for him on the side of Lordo team.
He definitely can be, but Lordo is also doing pretty well knowing the artifacts on these monsters. A lot of these monsters are a lot of minus fire, so that Duke will probably do about 30% of their health. So you really need like at least 3 Duke skill 3s to kill anything on Lordo's side here. So picking these very tanky monsters is probably going to be around after draft. We've got a water monster right there, so one less target for Duke to go on, and we're already done with the draft here.
All right, Vinny has a lot of buff, healing, cleansing, and Lordo has a lot of buff for himself as well, which means I think Water Werner has to be the one to go because he can steal all that buff constantly all the time, which can be very detrimental to Lordo draft.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. Werner has to be gone. I think from Lordo's side, you probably want to ban out one piece of damage here as well. So either the Shiho or the Shah, but no, we're going for the Riley ban once again. That didn't work out so well for True Well. And Lordo does still have sustain here. He has very nice shields from the boost as well as that skill too. That's provides some healing too.
Yep, but I really like Lordo draft. At the moment, we've got speed lead, we've got protection, we've got a lot of damage, we've got buff strip. So I think his team is rather complete. On the other side, I think Vinny's going to be on the back foot for quite some time.
I would agree with that. Vinny does have the Shizuka, but maybe flat back a little bit. And he does get stunned here. Even on 100 res against the 50 actually Shiho does manage to land that stun. And Duke can go for Big Bang Punch here and does break the shield, do 13,000 damage to Vanessa, but that is still at around 75% health.
Yep, and Wusa can immediately heal that back up very, very easily. Unfortunately for Lordo, we couldn't really have any more crazy follow-up damage, and Shizuka is about to take a turn very, very soon due to the attack bar boost from Duke's skill 3.
Yeah, and Angel does get the nice cleanse that Shizuka, so the stun did not end up mattering. And Vinny is actually reassessing this draft is not looking too bad. The boost does have sustain, but it's not that much sustain. It's not going to be healing the Vanessa to full, that's for sure. And Vinny is still very well protected with the Angela here, getting those constant shields, Kumar for some extra healing. And I think Vinny might actually take the long game here.
Yep, even though he is not having a whole lot of damage at the moment, he is protecting himself really, really well against the damage coming out from Lordo. And the Shizuka is holding on with the invisibility stolen from the Shiho.
It really is. Kumar getting that cleanse there too, healing Shizuka back to full. So Vinny's entire team is at max health here. Meanwhile, Lordo's Vanessa is nearly half health. And also, the Shaha doesn't really get any stronger as the game goes on. The Shiho does, but it's also everything's so tanky in this mode, and the Shiho doesn't have the craziest damage. It does have quite good additionals, but it doesn't have like any explosive damage aside from that skill 3.
And also, remember, buffs don't last forever. So the buffs are going down on the side of Vinny. He bought some time. He could have a wall right there, but the wall is slowly fading away. And I think right now is where Lotto go in with the damage.
Definitely his window here. Shiho almost dealing the Duke, but not enough. And Kumar's here to cleanse that up. And then Angela's here to heal that back up. And that is also just the one burst that Lordo has here. So Vinny has to endure a couple more of these. I think that then he might be in the clear. And we have another Fireball or Fire Duke skill 3 here. And that is going to take out the Vanessa.
Oh, even though he has a very long cooldown, he managed to pull off another big hit onto the Vanessa. But the game is not over just yet because Vinny's team doesn't get stronger as well over time, but Shiho does get stronger. And when both side HP go down, technically Wusa and Shahad are still doing similar-ish damage. They just don't do like bigger damage. So I think in the long game, even though Lordo looks like he's down 1 unit, I think he's doing pretty good.
It's still definitely anyone's game here. Shiho is really the only monster that scales in this game. Everything else is HP based, so it stays completely the same. We have that same percentage of HP, even though everyone loses the same percentage. So ultimately, the percentages will stay at very similar. But Shiho, the attack scaling, will be the only scaler here. Does get double stuns now, so does have skill 3 available, and maybe he's looking to take out this Duke here.
Oh, Shizuka with another violent proc. Shizuka skill 3 is about to come back. And that big wall that Lordo has to scale is about to come back as well. So he needs to bring something down fast.
Can this Wusa Violent proc? Wusa Violent proc would likely take out the Duke. Does not get the proc. And didn't go for the damage on the Duke. So now Angela with the Violent proc instead is healing up the Duke. And he is looking quite comfortable once again. But there's a stun on Shizuka.
Man, the emotional swing in this game is scary. And Shizuka, skill 3 ready to go. And oh, she's eating a lot of dots, and she had the silence on, so she could not really do much. But oh, the Duke with the stun, stopping the momentum of Shahad, and Kumar could easily save Shizuka if he wants to in the next turn.
Oh my goodness, Angela does that job instead. Just getting the Violent proc, getting that shield, a little bit of cleansing. That's kind of the wrong debuffs from Shizuka, however. The heal block remains, and Shiho getting a couple nice stuns back into skill 3, and that is starting to hurt on this Shizuka.
Oh, this might be the finishing move. The dots are going to take her. The dots took Shizuka. We are down to 3v3. And once again, I think look at the elements. Lordo is having the advantage here, and the shield gets stronger and stronger over time.
He is, and the Shaha is on quite a bit of minus fire, so this pole is not going to be doing a whole lot with this big bang bunch here. So doesn't even go for it. Just goes for the S1, trying to get provoked, trying to get a bit of control. Lordo's also playing this very well, just knowing the HP bars and all these units, so getting the heal block maximum value.
Yep, because you can sort of play around the healing cleansing of Angela because she works kind of similarly to Rakuni as well. So if you just look at the attack bar, you hit where the unit is moving next, that is not going to get the cleanse, then you can still keep the debuff on the enemy.
Oh, Shiho with another skill 3, not taking the Duke yet. And yeah, looks like Lordo is in a very commanding position here. He got rid of the Shizuka, so Shizuka's won't, obviously, if any other unit drops here, the Shizuka could still be revived into that skill 2 for the shadow clone of it and doing the skills, but with the Shizuka gone, obviously can't be doing that. He finds the Big Bang Punch here, and that is, yeah, maybe 30% of cost health.
I mean, it did something over there, and Wusa's back to the skill 2 as well to heal back to Shahad, and Shiho is going back soon with the skill 3 once again, and that's gonna start to really, really hurt these fire HP units.
Really is. Vinny probably has to use the Kumar skill 3 here. It's so awkward. It's obviously going the full immunity. No, goes for the skill 1. Manages to get rid of the will and lands the Oblivion on the Shahat. So that's going to take away all of Shahat's damage. Also, obviously leaving it unprotected here. So now Dude getting that stun there.
But Shahan is doing a job that's very underrated here, which is to sort of drag this game out. Because I feel like the longer you drag it out, the stronger Shiho is going to be. And the fact that Vinny just cannot kill the Shahan is already a W thing for Lotto, because he doesn't mind going to 70% attack of HP down. That's where Shield skill 3 can one-shot these fighters.
We are almost, there. We're 60 up, 60 down now. And yeah, Shiho is going to be doing insane amounts of damage. And Shahan, with sitting on all of that minus fire in the artifact, is just able to tank these frames for so long. And how Angela is trying her best to keep everything alive here. With that reflect damage on the shield almost taken out Shahab, but he's still hanging on. And the stun on Paul, so Wusa can now cut in and can provide even more protection for Shahab.
Yep, the game is going longer in Shio's favor. Because after some time, when Duke has to hit into water unit, his skill 3 is not going to be as strong as well. Because the moment you glance, you don't do the extra bonus 2 damage that you're supposed to do. And Shio is doing a lot of damage right now, and the skill 3 coming back soon is potentially one-shotting this Kumar.
Just having a moment to watch, the skill 3 comes back, and it does one-shot the Kumar with the help of that skill 3 from Wusa. And that is a lot of damage. We are 70 up, 70 down. The Kumar was probably the main way to deal with the Shiho. It does have the skill 1 buff removal, as well as a guaranteed crit on the skill 1. With the fall, as Sean mentioned, that if that unit lands, it doesn't even get the extra damage. So dealing with Shiho is going to be very difficult at this point. Not to mention there's a Wusa outside it.
Unfortunately, reflect damage doesn't work too well when you have a decent shielder healer on the enemy team, which will negate all of that reflect damage, and Shio is going to clean up another fire unit in the end game here. Duke is out, and Shio Wusa will be the last one standing. I think Lotto played a long game really well. He lost a unit, but he did not lose the calm, cool, collected posture that he had the entire round.
Yeah, he definitely did. And now Vinny really wants to drag this out, I guess. Maybe he's playing for the draw. Could be playing for the draw here. We are at 70 up, 70 down, but I think one more Shio skill 3, especially when he laps Angela here. There's no shield on top of it. This will probably finish the match here. And yeah, the Shio just being the only unit that scales in the late game just did so much work for Lordo, and he takes it up.
Yeah, Shiho came out on top. Also, Lordo using one of my favorite emotes of all time, the Camilla drawing on the floor. I love that one, dude. That's a way to send a message. It was a great game. Really turned our initial expectations around there, Topa. Like, I agreed with you. I thought like maybe Vinny might be in a better shot at the win in the beginning, but it's like he turned it into like a game about elemental relationships instead.
Yeah, he really did. In the draft, I thought Lordo had the upper hand when Vinny banned out the healing, but then in the game, I kind of saw Vinny's vision. You know, he was trying to draw out the game long, but I think ultimately, if Vinny banned out one of those damage dealers, aka that Shiho, that Shaha probably wouldn't have scaled in the late game, and honestly, we may have ended up with a draw if that Shiho was banned, but either way, you know, now yeah. Lordo does take the W there.
Yeah, that's kind of one of the interesting things about like these like longer winded challenge mode games, Sean, is that like those HP scaling damage dealers just don't age well.
Indeed. And having just one attack scaler in your draft proved to be very, very strong in the match that lasts, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes. He saw the vision very, very far away. And that's very cool to see.
So it should be noted here, Chaos is actually sitting at match point right now. So right now, HSZN versus Jeff Bulladão. Both these players have been performing very well over the course of the tournament, showing very good judgment, looking very comfortable playing inside of the challenge mode. And so now, if HSZN wins this one, that's it for this matchup, and we move on to the next one. Here we go, guys. We're going into what could be the last game between these two teams.
Oh, it really could be, and Jeff Bulladão does have that force pick on the Fire Duke once again, so maybe, you know, it didn't work out very well for Vinny right there. We'll see if H-Season can also exploit that. He does have the Shaha available, and I mean, so far we drafted the exact same replica of game 2.
Maybe we might be getting there, but the healers on the side of Jeff Bulladão this time around. HSN still have a lot of sustain on his side with the Angela, with the Diana, and he also has the Verna ready to go.
Yeah, he does. So HSN has some strong monsters, but Jeff Boladao not going to make the same mistake maybe that Vinny did, already picking up a Chow, which is obviously an attack scaling. So that late game, that Chow is going to be deleting monsters and also ignores the invisibility that Shiho has. So kind of bypasses the protection that Shiho gives himself.
All right, got a Chow getting picked up, so the late game is secure, and that Shiho is under some sort of pressure. We got a Shahad getting picked up as well, but oh, there is the healer. There's the big shielder at the same time, which kind of did really, really well.
That's good, looking pretty strong for H season. So Jeff Boladao noticing a lot of passes being drafted in that second round by H season, picks up both Oblivion monsters in the game mode, and in doing so, Kumar also provides a secondary healer for his team, and Tessarian, another attack scaler. So Jeff Boladao kind of covering his bases very well here. He has two healers, so no matter what, he's going to have a healer, and no matter what, he is going to have an attack scaling monster in the late game.
Oh, I think this is going to be a very easy Water Dragon Warrior last pick here. Oh, the swap back to Shield will make it a little bit more complicated. I think a Riley ban into a strong Water AoE was going to seal the deal for Jeff Boladao. But Jeff switched to a Wind Monkey to make it a little bit more complicated. But I think Riley is still going to be the ban right there.
Probably going to be the case. Riley also does provide the attack buff, so makes everything scale even harder. And Jeff Boladao, you're kind of in this position right now. Do you ban out the Angela? Once again, just banning out the sustain. Can you last long enough? I'm not sure you can. There's a lot of damage with that Shiho and the Shaha, as we saw in the last game. And there's that Water Burner on top of everything. So it's going to be interesting to see what route does Jeff Boladao take here.
Probably both healers are going to be banned out. We're going to see a very fast game with a lot of damage throwing around between these two players. And the ban, oh, unfortunately, is going to be the Werner and the Chow getting banned out. So both teams will keep their respective healer. Let's see which guy is going to take it to the end game better.
Yeah, we have our worst fears being manifested here as both teams ban out the damage instead of the heals. So from having a fast game that is over very fast, no healers, now we're drawn out a very, very long match here. And I kind of, right now, just off the get-go, do favor H's position. He does have a heal block with that Shaha, and Riley does not cleanse that many debuffs.
Oh, the Kumar dodged everything. So even if you land that good old silence onto the Riley, it's not going to matter too much. Oh, never mind. The speed tuning is looking really good for HSDN. Actually, because Shah is moving after all defenses taking their turn, and the immunity will not stop this guy from doing that damage.
Yeah, Firepole using that skill through obviously boosting up his team. That is going to make everything move in front, and now H is going to really remove that immunity and put his debuffs online, although he is focusing on the fire monster. That is obviously the cleanser, so I don't hate this decision, but obviously landing on the 100 res Kumar is going to be a bit challenging.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Like, he's switching back to the Wind Monkey right there with the silence that is obviously going to get cleansed away anyway, but maybe he wants to get some attack power because the Wind Monkey is moving in front of the cleanser, and he wants to get rid of this unit before moving on to the healer.
Yeah, also maybe giving Wind Monkey a bit too much respect here, just doesn't want to get countered by it, but it's worth noting the Wind Monkey is also built on revenge here. So no matter who you hit any of his allies, he has that passive counter, and if you hit him, he has that active rune set counter, but it's, I guess, slightly lower chance that he counters when you hit him.
Oh, Shah's being the focus of Jeff Boladao as well. But I think taking out a Monkey has a very good point about it, because Monkey is the only one that scale into late game. The other two units, once again, are both HP scaler, and we'll be in a very similar situation in the previous draft where Shiho will drag it out to 70% attack up, and Jeff is going to get one shot by the Shiho, because right now he has no clear way to bring down the Shiho before the end game happens.
Yeah, it's definitely a worthwhile point noting, but it's also, what we keep mentioning is this Monkey has no damage and it's all tank. So all tank Monkey plus that passive, it's going to be very difficult for HEs to get through. So he might be spending too much time with Wind Monkey, focusing it down right away here, to where Jeff Boladao can then maybe gain some control and take a unit out of his own.
I think it might be totally fine for HSDN to actually shift focus to the Monkey now. I think more about it, because what is Jeff going to actually do? Like, he can't stop HSDN to in his quest of bringing down his Monkey. His main damage are fire, so it's useless to send it to the Shiho. He's sending it to the Shahad with like minus 9,000 damage from fire. So Shahad is absolutely laughing at this fire unit damage right now. So nothing is really happening to HSCN. He could actually put it on auto and maybe somehow come out on top. I believe that.
You almost could. I mean, I also feel like at this point we're kind of just biding time. You know, this is kind of the challenge mode classic of a lot of these games. We just kind of bide time until we are at least like 40 or 50 up on the attack and 50 less HP, because everything is so tanky here and not enough damage. So we really need that timer to fix kind of the balance in this game, you know, where you know, the units have a little bit less health and do a little bit.
True, but also this was probably won in draft. And the moment HSCN switched the focus to the Wind Monkey, I think he realized that, oh, this game is kind of over. Like, I have already won just by hitting this Wind Monkey over and over again. The moment Wind Monkey go down, there's no more attack scale left on the side of Jeff Bolodau. And even when the Monkey get Violent Proc after a defense break, which is usually like the very scary combo to happen for any Monkey King out there, the Fire or the Wind one, he did not really achieve much. And even with this Big Bang Punch going out, the damage will not be too important here because there's no true follow-up to finish off the Angela.
There's no follow-up. The Monkey did get that Violent Proc, obviously didn't even go for the damage on the Angela. Maybe there was no attack buff. Damage, the Angela's not dying to that, and even the pull damage, yeah, the Angela is not going down, and now the Tiebreaker is getting cleansed. Monkey also got 2 stuns, so he's already cycling right back to that invincibility. And this Monkey is really what you want to be taking out, but obviously it's so well protected throughout the entire match that the Monkey is likely to see the late game more so than the Wing counterpart.
This is like one of those like YouTube video where you click in. All right, where's the skip button now? Because we need to get to the 70% attack up to actually feel something between these two Monkey here. And unfortunately, the Water Monkey is the one that's still better because his damage output is already way better in the earlier part of the game. And the skill 3 is the one that can truly nuke one of the enemy unit immediately. And for Wind Monkey to do that, it's going to take him like defense break setup, a quick little Violent Proc in there, maybe an attack buff as well. Meanwhile, Shield doesn't really need any of the complicated setup to actually kill something in the endgame.
That really is the case. Jeff Bolodau getting a couple of Violent Procs here now with that Riley, you know, already having the Totem skill up. And there's some debuffs that are actually sticking on HE's side now. Wind Monkey with another skill too. I mean, doesn't do that much damage to Angela. Even the Violent Proc, you know, stuns it up, but Angela is going to be moving next and cleansing all of those debuffs.
And remember, guys, there is still going to be the Vanessa revive in there. I know the silence can take away the revive from Vanessa, but it just means that she's gonna revive it the next turn when she gets the proper turn anyway. So there's a lot to go through for Jeff Bolodau if he wants to bring down this damage, this healer, while he's waiting for the She-Hulk to start going crazy. So the clock is ticking for Jeff Bolodau because the window is closing sooner than he thinks.
Oh, but that is a huge Oblivion that lands top of this Angela here. This Angela now is unable to cleanse, unable to get any shielding aside from the S2. And Jeff Bolodau has this Riley for another big heal, keeping this Wind Monkey alive. But Angela also just getting the Violent Proc out of all divas. But she thinks that with the revenge, with the pull, the punch now, is that enough damage? That is going to be enough damage. And still silenced. So Angela actually leaves the match first, and that leaves H-Season with no sustain on his side.
Huge.
Oh, maybe this could be a turnaround for Jeff Bolodau. But remember, last time Lordo also lost a unit in the early game, and somehow managed to pull through with 3 units. But he did have a Wusa on his team, and there's no Wusa on HSCN, so he has to pull off that revive with some sort of control in between, so that he can bring back the heal restoration for his team.
Yeah, it's still not over. Obviously, I do favor Jeff Bolodau's draft here. Just hitting that Wind Monk, you're not going to kill it. It's way too tanky. And with 2 healers, you know, even if obviously the Riley gets somewhat countered by the heal block by top, and Kumar has 2 cleansing skills. The heal on the S2 cleanse as well as that skill 3. And other things can also kind of cycle out of this. Riley does have more healing. Maybe try skill 3 on that She-Ho. Now the defense break of the things might go down.
Oh, I was hoping he was going to send it to the Monkey. He did, but he did not get the stun, unfortunately. And with the defense break on the Zingza, the damage, oh, that is a lot of damage coming out. If he cannot stun this, he could not stun this. And even though without a passive, he could easily bring down the Wind Monkey. And the revive onto the Angela could be very detrimental for Jeff Bolodau here.
That is a 5,400 hit point revive. Can Jeff Bolodau kill that Angela before he takes a turn? I think Fire Pole might have enough. Oh, that's no damage. No skills available on the Fire Duke. It's only 2.2k with the skill 1, and Angela will be taking a turn and healing right back up.
Dude, that skill 1 was too light of a jab on Angela. It did not do any real damage whatsoever. And when the shield came back up, oh, this is bad news for Jeff Bolodao. The game, even though was swinging in his favor for a little while, but once again, the Shiho was just too much for him to handle.
It seems to be that way. Shiho just can't be really targeted here at all. Now he's going to be going for that once again. And Shiho found that opportunity when there was a defense break sitting on top of the Singzer, and then got that massive skill 3 damage, taking it out. And now Shiho, I mean, still just can't be controlled. He's going to get another skill 3 off, and that's going to be likely another dead unit.
It's kind of funny that Jeff Bolodao is losing exactly the same way that his teammate lost just like 15 minutes ago. It is the end game. It is another mother flipping Shiho sending the skill 3 to finish him off, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, it's almost like we saw this movie before. Firepole trying to take out the Angela, unable to do so, and at this point there's no cleanse on top coming with that Firepole. Even a skill 1 Shiho might take out this pole, and it crits, and he takes it out. And I believe this is Team Chaos going 3-0, and they will be advancing into the finals.
Yeah, well done, Team Chaos. H season not even looking, not even happy. Look at that. H season it's another day for H season. It's like all run of the mill right here with the clutching out that 3-0 for the team and sending them down to the 3rd, 4th place match. That's incredible. Well done from H season. Yeah, Sean, you called it. It was like the same showdown at the end as it was in the first match.
It was the same ending, man. I played these games before, and it happened exactly how it was. He died the same way to the Shiho, sending the skill 3.
Yeah, dude, the Shiho stocks are going up right now, Topa. That was a pretty good performance from Shiho.
Yeah, they really are. It's surprising that Shiho is doing better in this bruiser lineup in challenge mode than in a speed lineup. Obviously, a lot of the speed lineups have been kind of lackluster in general, but Shiho is built quite tanky. He has over plus 20, believe it's plus 23,000 hit points that he has. And then obviously having that invincibility and the protection just makes it so difficult to kill.
Yeah, for real. All right, guys, we have our first finalist set here. That's Team Chaos moving forward. So we still have to figure out which team is going to face them in the finalists here. We have to figure out which team is going to face them in the finals, Parceros or Skills over Bills. Guys, we're going to find out who's meeting them there right after a short break. So don't go anywhere, okay? We'll see you right back here for more Summit Grand Finals. All right, and hello and welcome back to the grand finals of the Americas Summit, where we are still in the semifinals position, and we're about to watch Parceros versus Skills over Bills. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for the reminder to stay hydrated from Zettabyte. Topa, welcome back, dude.
Yeah, great to be back, and I did stay hydrated during the break. I hope, everyone in chat did as well, and we had some incredible matches right there. We had like very typical challenge mode games right there, where you stall out the clock until almost 70 up, 70 down, and then stuff starts getting one shot.
Yeah, extremely classic there, Sean. And also, Shiho stocks have never been higher.
Indeed, and we saw a brand new move, the Duke pre-pick, that worked extremely well for Chaos because they forced the enemy to pick a fire unit, so there's a lot of weakness to water, and they forced them to pick a unit that is terrible in late game, so they could drag it out and make sure that they will win the late game. And it worked out perfectly in 2 games in a row, forcing the enemy into the trap that they willingly walk into pretty much by picking the Kumar with the Duke at the same time.
I love that analysis, actually, of the reasoning behind picking the Duke. It's kind of like what we were talking about, where those max HP damage dealers don't scale well. I think that's a very great thing to point out there. And it might actually prove to be a solid pre-ban a force pick that other people might want to emulate going forward here, because Parceros and Skills over Bills are queuing up for this right now, and those are exactly the kinds of decisions that they need to make on the back end here. So a reminder for folks who might be joining us late, we are playing challenge mode here. All of these teams have 4 players associated with them, and they have decided the matchups ahead of time. So when you see the matches coming up here, know that these teams have fielded the players on their own accord here. Now, they do have an item called a Devilmon they can use to swap positions if they want to, but we may or may not see that happen coming in here. Now, Topa, reflecting on what we were just talking about with Sean, where do you stand on the Duke versus Chiwoo and Triton debate now?
I mean, I still think Chiwoo and Triton are a lot worse than the Duke. At least Duke still does some damage, right? I mean, we talk about the HP skills a lot, but if, everyone loses HP at the same rate, that percentage will still stay the same. So Duke will always do the same percentage of the max health. It's kind of the same as Shaha, right? Shaha is obviously just a lot more consistent with that. He does that every turn. Duke has a 4-turn cooldown on that big bag punch right there. So, but yeah, still can do some damage, and we did see it take out a couple monsters, but still, I mean, a Chiwoo or a Triton couldn't even dream of doing that much damage.
It's true, yeah. And, I think in both games, if I'm not mistaken, I think Duke actually might have secured a kill. So here they are at Parceros. I think they might be discussing which monster they want to pre-ban and make their opponent's force pick right now. We can see if there's any discussion happening between them, or skills over bills.
I'm loving the fact that there are more scary pre-pick unit, so that they can't just pre-ban the ball, right? They gotta be some more crazy big brain pre-pick for the enemy that when you slip up, ooh, here's a chill for you, buddy.
Yeah, no, for real. So we'll see what they end up sticking with for their pre-ban and their force pick. I was seeing if maybe we could hear what they had to say, but I think they might have already made those decisions. So we're starting off with Mesa versus Pac-Man John, unless something comes into play to actually make anything swap. Any particular matchup you're looking forward to, Topa?
I would say probably that last match for me in this one, match for Gab versus Lil Jenny. Lil Jenny is the team captain, and she has been doing really well for this team. I mean, I feel like Lil Jenny's team may have even been viewed as kind of the underdog team coming to this tournament, but they were, they qualified here as our second seed, and they were our first seed. They were in the top position on the leaderboard for a while as well.
Yeah, that's a great highlight. Also, Jenny almost took us to a draw last round there. You remember that, Sean? We almost got to the point where it was a draw.
Oh God, please don't do that again. I mean, we only got 2 games that went to 70% attack up. I don't personally have any game of mine go to 70% attack up in the past 3 weeks. So we need to stay away from the word draw. We don't need any art here, okay?
Yeah. I'm not going to say it again. Lest I accidentally bring it back up, and someone tries to repeat it. I won't do it again. I'm not going to put that energy out into the world here. So yeah, we're going forward into this. And for folks, again, who might be joining us fresh off the break, there is a prize pool for this. $10,000 is on the line, 5K of that going to first place, 2,500 to second, and so on and so forth. So these guys really got to turn it on here, chat. This is actually for money. So they have to show up for their team. I want to remind everyone again that we do have a couple conditions. So if there is a 2-2 tie, they can choose a player to field as a gladiatorial combat situation where they will fight for the sake of the team in a tiebreaker match. Now, if they are able to secure 3 wins in a row and the enemy team has 0, like we saw in Chaos versus Good Luck Have Fun, then we're going to skip the 4th game, and that's considered an immediate win. Oh, look at this. Fire Angelmon, first pick, Chandra. It's a force pick on Chandra for skills over bills. And then we have a mutual pre-ban on Chiwu. What do you think of this setup here, Topa?
That is very interesting. I mean, Parceros is kind of taking a page out of a Chaos book right there. They're picking a non-orthodox HP scaling monster. Chandra's an HP scaling monster, but he has quite a bit of utility in his kit as well. Does have that protection, does have a speed lead, does have a slow, does have a stun, does have a buff removal in the skill 1, and I mean, Triton is there. So I think, if I, had to choose, I think I'd rather take the force pick on the Chandra than, being forced to pick a Triton.
Yeah, exactly. I think the same thing there. Sean, where do you stand on Chandra versus Duke? Which do you think is worse?
Hey man, we all think that Duke was about to do something, but apparently he did not. So maybe Chandra is another big brain move from this team right here that we're about to witness, because in the challenge mode where everything is ruined so well and the artifact are super built against a certain element, you can easily force the enemy into a situation where they can't do damage because of how strong the artifacts are. And one of the easiest rule of thumb for drafting summon as well is just to play by the color. If they got a lot of blue, you go yellow. They got a lot of yellow, you go red. So if there is a Chandra, certain unit like Diana is going to be really, really strong. Also Shahad with the dots that go straight to your HP.
Yeah. Shout out to Diana, who's been very potent before this and just got even more potent with a Chandra on the other side. A guaranteed Chandra. That's a very good point from Sean. It's like you're guaranteeing a particular elemental matchup, especially when there are more damage dealers in play for it. Now, as a reminder, everybody, Chiwu is off the table for this entire match. Parceros has to pick Triton, and Skills Over Bills has to pick Chandra. Here we go, guys. Mesa versus Pac-Man John. We are queuing up here for the second matchup in the semifinals. We're here to find out which team is moving forward to the finals. Let's see what it's all about here. Mesa versus Pac-Man John. Here we go. All right, go ahead.
Oh, there's a red Chandra. Kumar is appearing on the skills or build side, so we won't be seeing the force pick Chandra. And likewise, I don't see a Triton. We see a white Triton on Mesa's side, so no force picks on either side. And we have a 2LD match, which I do like to see.
All right, we got Ragdoll, Maxi, Adamel, and Pontos kind of counter one another, sort of. So I wonder if they're going to draft those units. We got a Water Twin getting picked up early on from Mesa. Water Twin is sort of underrated right now, I think, across all different kind of content because of the small nerf. So I'm not sure if it's going to work out too well.
Yeah, Water Twin did get a buff also in the latest balance patch. Now, more consistent with that defense break on that skill 3. But looking at Mesa's options here, there's a Wind Zenitsu, which hasn't been performing very well, but that's really the only follow-up I see that's like very potent, like single target damage to this Water Twin engine. Could be pairing up with not Chandra, that Karnal as well, as Karnal is on a very high damage 100 crit damage build in this mode as well.
I swear every time I see like Werner shot getting picked up like that, your default counter is like, oh, let's pick a Wind Monkey. But then when you do that, and then you suddenly left with 0 damage, it's kind of weird. So Mesa actually did not go for the usual instinct of picking a Wind unit here. He's going with a Shio and Thessarion to counter the enemy team.
Yeah, going for that single target damage with that Water Twins. I missed that Thessarion actually. That is another single target damage dealer. It's built on a crit rate build here, 100 crit on that Thessarion. So it's kind of similar to the Wind Monkey, but with this passive amplification damage on the Thessarion, he can definitely do some damage. And obviously, we've seen that Shiho in the Werner multiple times when Shiho just takes half of Werner's health away on turn 1.
Oh, double heavy buffer coming out from Pac-Man. Seeing how there's not a whole lot of strip coming out from Mesa, that is looking not too hard for him. So I think he's going to have to ban out one of the buffer over there and pick up some more damage for himself.
Could be doing that on Mesa's side otherwise, or on the other hand, you have already your 2 attack scalers. This kind of seems to be maybe the ultimate form of competitive challenge mode. You just bring attack scalers and you take in the late game and you bring sustain around them. So now he's picking up an Angela, opts to go for a bit of a mid-range unit here in that Fire Megami, which I don't know about. I mean, you have a little bit of AoE, but it's coming from a water monster, and Pac-Man John is a very strong child last pick.
Pac-Man John looking really strong right now with his draft. We got triple water against double fire, and also a lot of unit that can deal with a Shiho with either ignoring his invincibility or taking his invincibility for themselves. So I think Pac-Man probably has the upper hand in this draft.
I would tend to agree with that, and his healer is also getting let through. That is another form of attack buff, so that's even more harder scaling for Pac-Man. On the other side, Mesa loses his biggest healer in the Angela, so I can't help but favor Pac-Man's draft here. On the other hand, Mesa does get all of his damage through, so if he can quick drop this Gojo here, he might be looking pretty good.
But that is not a simple task, because after the Shiho tech is turned, we have 2 fire units we rely on to take out this Water Werner here, and that's not easy.
And we still have a little X on the screen on the Shiho, but we'll see how that Shiho performs here as it goes on the Werner, takes nearly half of Werner's health away right away, but can the Thessarion finish the job?
That's going to be a tough one because he needs to crit, and can he do it? Can he do it, Topa?
The suspense, he's building suspense. He's maybe he's in a prayer right now. Thessarion, or maybe he's disconnected. He didn't go for the skill 2. Skill 2 would be multi, therefore having a higher chance of critting, but not getting the crit with skill 1 and this Megumi is no way going to be able to take out skill.
Nah, that's crazy. Oh, he's critting the Riley instead.
Crits the Riley and stuns the Riley, so no healing coming from the Werner, but he doesn't need healing. He just takes the invincibility and self-protects himself right there. But he's gone.
He's gone for a little bit, but you know what's going to be gone? Oh, did not take the immunity from the Shio, so he lost a lot of damage from the dots right there. Imagine if he lands 3 dots, Shio will be in critical condition right now.
Almost taking out the Shiho right there. This might be definitely looking to be a faster match here, as both teams are kind of getting rid of the monster right away, and that Megumi proc keeping the Riley controlled, and there's no heals coming to save this Werner here, only some more stuns.
Oh, big stun coming from Shio. Shio's doing so well. Stunning the enemy team, doing crazy damage. I think Werner is about to go down here if Shio and Tesarion get a good turn, and I think it is happening. Another fat hit onto the Werner. Tesarion, you cannot miss the opportunity this time around. Werner's gonna go down, but there is still a Chow right there. And Evan say, all road leads to Chow, and here we go. Chow's going in. Could not finish off the Shio just yet.
And now Shiho has self-protection once again. There's also Tesarion on the side of Mesa to nullify the pass from this Chow. But so far, Megumi has done an exceptional job keeping the Riley at bay. Riley has not taken a single turn this entire match.
Unfortunately, even though Riley is one of the best healer in the game, and also one of the best healer for challenge mode, if you can't take a turn, you can't heal. And we are seeing that right now. And this Chow, he needs to go through his invincibility to bring down a Shiho if he wants to have a chance of winning this game.
Once again, Megumi taking a turn with the stun. Riley out of commission, but she does get a violent proc this time.
Huge.
So Riley finally participating in the match, opting to go for the skill 3 that cleanse on the Shaha. Shio taking a turn. There's nothing that can really stop this Chow at this point, as Chow will be cleansed those debuffs. So Shiho will be leaving the battlefield, and Mesa has left with 2 fire damage dealers against the Chow. So it's definitely not over fast.
And the Chow's coming whether you like it or not. It's coming in hard. Going in with the Justice, ignoring everything that Shiho has to offer, and brings down a Shiho. But now suddenly Mesa is not looking too good because he has 2 fire units against the Chow. And that is not a position where you want to be in.
It's definitely not. And once again, we see just Shahat's maybe his most crucial role is just tanking fire units in challenge mode. That minus fire on him, like Tesarion's just barely scratching the Shaha, and this Riley is going to be taking a turn unless Water Twins do the unthinkable with this skill 2 stun here, and that's going to be a lot of healing on the Shaha once again.
Dude, all that stun, but Chow don't care. Chow's gonna go in once again. And these fire units, they are shaking their boots right now. They cannot bring down this wall to the Shahan and Riley just to stand there and be food for Chow one after another.
Megumi is really trying his best here, getting another violent proc. Going for that eagle, gets the buff remove and the stun on the Shaha. Sorry, now the defense break. Lands in the second hit. That is enough with the dots, but Riley's moving in front, so it does have to confirm the kill. Chow obviously cleansing that stun. No violent proc, so Megumi still stays in the battlefield a bit longer.
But guys, Chow is not invincible, okay? There's still going to be Oblivion from the Tesarion, and a stun from the Water Twin Angel can instantly take down a Chow. So that could happen, but is whether Chow gonna take them down first, or will they manage to stun Chow in the end game?
Ooh, and Megumi failing the 50-50 right there. The immunity stays on the Chow. So Chow is protected from the Oblivion now. Can use this skill to Justice. Go through that shield. It's not enough to take out the Megumi yet. And Riley, I don't think has immunity available this turn. So that Chow might be getting Oblivion and going down then.
I'm not sure about not focusing on the Riley at the moment though, because you can Oblivion the Chow, but you gotta stop the Riley from cleansing that as well. And here's the Oblivion. Remember guys, that will take away the Chow passive, including the damage he's getting from the passive. So this will significantly reduce the Chow damage. And once again, never mind. Chow will heal himself with the Violent Proc, sending the Fire Megumi home.
Oh man, Chow with the 1 violent proc to rule them all. Gets that violent proc, even with the Oblivion on the passive, not getting the extra damage. It still takes it out, but there's no defense break. If Tesarion crits here, Chow dies, and it's going to be game over. Tesarion gets the crit!
Off element.
He gets the crit in the most important moment. He failed to kill Werner earlier, but he's not failing to kill Chow today. Tesarion, the true elemental king.
Dude, he showed up in a clutch way. That was even more clutch than the Chow Bio proc kill, but that was crazy.
Yeah, it definitely was. I mean, Chow, the Tesarion also had a 3-turn Oblivion on the Chow, that buff. You got that violent proc earlier, extended Oblivion to 3 turns, so it was still there. That gave Tesarion the damage amp on it as well. So really just, I mean, it was an overkill. Probably didn't need it. I mean, that just well overkilled that Chow right there. And Tesarion that took a page out of his brother Tiomar's book right there with that Elemental King at the end.
Elemental King, dude. Yeah, that was a fun one to watch, Sean. I liked that game a lot.
Yeah, I almost thought about, it's another situation where there are 2 fire units in the end game against a water unit. But this time it's a Chow. Chow might be strong, but he is naked most of the time, and he can be debuffed. He can be Oblivion, and he can be stunned. So I think Meza just did the right move right there while picking Thesauri in the early game
Yeah.
instead of
that's-
Kumar.
And admittedly, I was a little bit worried because the whole time he's like taking out units from the side there. I'm like, man, this is just empowering the Justice. That Justice is going to hit really, really hard. But these monsters are ruined and artifacted so well that it's like that damage reduction from water is probably helping them out a little bit too, because just didn't have quite enough juice on that Justice to take down even the fire units after 2 allies had passed away. Here we go, guys. Wallen versus a little Jenny is coming up next here. Let's see what's going on. I'm not going to say the possibility here, but we'll say the last time we saw Jenny, it definitely went a little bit long, to say the least there, Sean.
Oh, can't wait to see that. Well, and I wonder if the pre-pick is going to happen this time around, because we didn't see those units in their box earlier. But this time, there is a Chandra.
All
There
right,
is
guys,
a
here we go.
Chandra indeed. So Jenny has to pick up that Chandra. This is also a matchup that Jenny was Devil Mod into. So originally we were going to have Jenny in that match 4, but she now got moved in this match 2. So probably, you know, maybe Jenny feels extremely confident in taking out Wallen here. So we'll see how it goes now that she's forced to pick up that Chandra.
All right, Chandra first pick over there, and we got Automel to enjoy all the free counterplay if he wants to. We got the Huarang as well for some late game damage. We got a lot of good stuff coming off from Wallen's box.
Yeah, both these boxes are quite strong. Jenny, you know, does have also, we have another double LD matchup, which I do like to see, and she does have, you know, the Riley for the healing, does have Dinah and the Chow, as well as the, you know, Shiho. That has been really just the name of the game here today.
All right, we got a Bruiser team getting picked up. We got a Cardinal picked up for the first time today as well, together with the Patter. So Jenny team looks kind of complete at the moment. How can Wallen break through these walls? Is he going to go for the Light Huarang together with Angela? It is going to be Light Huarang together with Angela for some late game combo as well.
Yeah, it's a very strong combination right there. Obviously, Light Huarang difficult to kill, even though it is built on a crit rate build here. So a bit squishier, but still very hard to kill. And you're pairing up couple shielders, couple heals already. It's gonna be very difficult to get through that. We'll see how Jenny responds to that. Going for a Diana here now when there's not really any AoEs present on Wallen's side is a bit questionable.
But at least there's no fire presence on the other side, so maybe the Diana can still go and do some damage once in a while together with O'Reilly. Double Q coming out from Jenny, and we got Automail getting picked up. It is rare to see these players pick both the LDs, but one's going in with both Automail and Light Huarang. I think it's gonna be an awesome match.
Yeah, Artemir looks pretty good here. That Patter is 100 crit, Carno's 100 crit, and Dinah is 100 crit, and Chandra auto crits on that skill 1. So by process elimination, maybe you're banning out that Riley. That's also the biggest source of heal, and this Artemil could be going down, but I think Jenny is just going to ban out the Artemil.
Oh, we've got an Artemil ban, we've got a Cardinal ban. Jenny will still have double heal, immunity, damage, but is that going to be enough against the Angela? We got the shots to break through the immunity as well with a constant strip. And I think Light Huarang does more damage against buff as well, right?
It does with that skill too. It ignores all damage reduction effects and gets a 50% damage increase as well. And there's a lot of single target damage on Wallen's side. I feel like this Diana might be leaving this match quite fast here, and that's going to be very difficult for Jenny to come back from that.
Oh, we got silence on the Patter, defense break on the Diana, setting up his play right there. But he's gonna get stunned by the Patter in the meantime. Chandra will now have to choose a friend to protect. Which one is it going to be?
Opts to go for the Patter here. I'm not sure you even needed to protect anything here, as you with just a simple skill 3 here, you're boosting up your Riley to go in front, and that's going to be cleansing up your team here too. So I'm not really too worried about like the Patter being targeted here. So with the Diana that Wallen is going to be going after, and with that defense breaking getting cleansed, there's not much reason to be protecting it yet.
All right, Diana getting a turn, not doing a whole lot right there. Like Huarang going for the skill 2, going straight into the Diana. I think he is going to put all his damage into the Diana. There's really no other reason to attack on the target, and already down 50% of her HP.
Yeah, the Huarang is not even fully stacked. That was a non-stacked Huarang. He's now sitting at 7 out of 10 stacks. His speed is only getting increased, and Chandra already burned that skill 3. That's really the only way to answer this Huarang, getting that slow on top of it. And with using the skill 2 too, the cycling is not going to be there. That skill 3 is far away, and this Huarang is kind of going to have field day and feast on this Diana here.
Oh, more turn for the Huarang going in. Look at the damage. The Diana is under a lot of pressure, but it can be the first turn for Diana to transform here and do some damage to the enemy. And we all know Diana is a monstrosity with Violent Pro on her own as well. So maybe if she can get a little cheeky procs, maybe she's going to do some good damage on Wallens.
I think you need a big cheeky proc and even probably 3 of them to take out the shot at this point. Look at that HP on that monster. It barely even moved after attack buff with Diana's skill too. Actually, I think the attack buff may have worn off right before it, but either way, we have Horang coming in with a 10 out of 10 down. Carried by the Shaha, I think this Diana is going to leave the battlefield, and so will Jenny's chance of winning this game, especially with the Horang proc.
Oh my god, Diana went out so quickly. That light Horang did not let the opportunity slip by, and without Diana, I think the game is kind of GG.
Yeah, I agree with that assessment for sure. You know, Chandra, force pick is working out pretty well right now, although this was a very strong draft from Wallen into just almost anything. The Artemil was just so perfectly placed. I mean, Artemil usually doesn't do a whole lot, and maybe even got a bit too much respect in this matchup here. Getting that ban and then the single target damage dealers in the Horang and the Shaha, especially with all this healing, are just completely unstoppable.
Alright, AoE slow did not do so well. Not a lot of damage coming out as well. Jenny, I think damage will have to depend on the Chandra and the Patter skill too. But then there's no more defense break, so the damage is not looking too hard. And they can't really hit that Lion Hwarang too well half the time as well because of the passive. And Chandra is not doing great into these cleansing coming from Angela to keep the slow on as well.
Yeah, it really isn't. This is, again, kind of the same case. We have no attack scaling left on Jenny's side. Both these damage dealers are HP scaling, and Horang being attack scaling. Holy cow, with another violent proc, the Chandra is getting deleted from the battlefield.
It seems like the new meta for the pre-pick is going to force the enemy to pick up some HP skiller so that by the time your attack skiller becomes stronger, you instantly win the game.
And I thought we figured it out with the Chiwu and the Triton, but like clearly a little bit more time has yielded great results. HP scalers are in fact the way to go. Wallen taking another dub for Parceros right now and taking them to a match point position in this next game here. Again, guys, if Parceros wins this next one, that's it for the matchup. That's a 3-0, so that means we'd be skipping the last one. That was incredibly well played. Topa, I really liked what you said about the placement of the Artemio on the pick ban phase being really important. Like leaving it in that last pick slot kind of elevated it. And like you said, it might have gotten a little too much respect.
Yeah, it definitely did. You know, you could have picked the Artemil in the second round, but then there probably wouldn't have been a Diana on the field because already in the first 3 picks, there was that auto crit from Chandra and the 100 crit Carnal as well as 100 crit Patter. So it already seemed like a pretty solid pick, but Vaughn just had the patience, I guess, you know, hold on the Artemil, his secret trap card weapon until the last moment. And yeah, I got that ban. And I mean, that was an overpowering draft coming out of Wallen there.
It was. And here's another look at the matchups. Again, with this, that does put Parceros in that match point position, guys. So if Mendieta clutches this one up against Amante Bandido, then that means they're going to move forward to that finalist position. Now, if Amante Bandido can get it, then that means we are going to that 4th round there in just a second. Yeah, this is it, guys. We're getting into the pick ban phase. Let's see if Mendieta has what it takes to get that dub for Parceros. Sean and Topa, take it away, guys.
Oh, there's no Chandra on the other side. So we wait, is that a Triton? Did they force pick a Triton?
Uh-oh, that's not going to be looking good for the 3-0 for us, because that is a Triton that Mendieta has to be picking up. First time that Parceros is getting that restriction or that force being put on them. And yeah, that Triton is going to be definitely quite difficult for Mendieta to play around here.
All right, we got the Werner getting picked up right there. Triton, but he still has some decent follow-up, so maybe it's not too bad. We got the Carnal, we got the Wind Zenitsu, we got the Water Draken Warrior. Maybe it's not too bad, even with a Triton.
Maybe, but he didn't pick any of those monsters in his first 2, and Triton has to be picked up. I hope Mendieta realizes that there's a Triton in his monster box, and that is or has to be utilized here. And yeah, for the follow-up, you could have a couple options. I think Carnal, Solvark are pretty strong, but might need another buff remover to enable those.
Also, Amante is not picking up crazy passive healing or counterplay yet. So I think it's it's actually pretty safe to pick Triton last and force the enemy into not picking unit like Vert and Riley and Diana. But he picked the Triton, I think, a little bit too early. He could have pre-picked like Cardinal and Wind Twin and then pick the Triton last. But here we see an early Triton which allow for counterplay to be drafted by Amante Bandido.
That's a great point right there, but Amante Bandido's not really doing anything about it. He just picks a Veladril, picks an immunity that can be stripped by the Triton, and then picks up a Shiho that's... Sure, it's going to outspeed the Triton if you ban out the speed lead, but, I mean, are you going to stun off element? I mean, maybe you can stun one of the follow-ups, but it's just a kind of a weird from Amante Bandido in this last 2 weeks. Maybe it'll work out. We'll see.
Oh, I think I kind of like the Wind Twin or the Shizuka here for the heavy counterplay into the Shiho. So that could be an easy Veladril ban, take out the sustain, and the Triton seems to provide a little bit of value in the first turn here, and that's not too bad.
Yeah, if the speed-led Triton is getting let through, that is going to be guaranteeing turn 1 for Mendieta. And as you mentioned, I think it's not going to be a ban on that Veladril, so healing and immunity is still present.
But he has 2 different ways to stun the Veladril, so maybe it's not too bad. And Triton can potentially silence the Shiho after the first turn. We don't have a lot of healing in this match here, so it could end very, very fast.
It's definitely going to be a faster match. Mendieta doesn't have any healing on his side besides some self-healing from the Chow and the Cardinal. And Chow could be looking to take this match over as well if he can get rid of that Shiho fast. But we saw Kasarian can counter Chow as well.
All right, here we go. Big AoE from Triton. Can he push back the Shiho? Here we go. And we did not do the only one thing. Unbelievable. Even Mendieta could not believe himself. How useless can you be? And Cardinal is going to get stunned. And he needed this slow from the Cardinal. Can the Cardinal redeem himself?
Well, that's a pretty insane performance from Triton otherwise, though. He landed the pushback on both fire monsters. So the Veladril might not even be taking a turn here. And the Cardinal gets the proc out. The stars are aligning for Mendieta after all.
That is a very important proc right there. But he did not get the pushback on the slow onto the Veladril. The Veladril is about to get a turn in between. Can the... Oh, Veladril is not doing what Veladril is supposed to do. And remember, the Fire Megumi actually got a violent proc earlier. He missed the silence onto the Veladril. Quad stun, but a violent proc for Mendieta on the Fire Megumi.
What is going on? This match is an absolute roller coaster of emotions. It looks so good for Mendieta at the start. Well, actually, it didn't look that good for Mendieta at the start, but he's thinking on that monkey. Then the Cardinal proc, and now the Chow proc's back, and that is going to be a dead water monk. Oh, it's not dead yet.
Bro, what is this game?
Every unit on Mendieta team has proc, except for Triton. I mean, he could proc if he was on Vile, but unfortunately, Triton could not join the fun because he was on Swift. And oh my god, the procs are being handed out to everyone in this game. Everyone, their mom is procking except for the most important proc. The Veladril did not get a single one. The only one that matters for Amante.
Yeah, the only one that matters doesn't come through, so the Shiho does let it die, and Megumi takes another violent proc. Doesn't land anything on that Shaha, however, so Cardinal's not able to take advantage of a defense break. But Chow looking at full health. And Mendieta is definitely in control now. Going for this Veladril. No violent proc this time. It seems like the violent procs have halted for the time being.
If Cardinal get another skill 3 out, this game might be over for Amante Bandido because that skill 3 is definitely going to hurt the Veladril. But before that, Fire Megumi is going to go down potentially to the Shahan. Is he going to send a silence?
Yeah, I was going to say, he could be looking to silence that Cardinal. Doesn't have skills anyways, but obviously Megumi was Oblivion, so wouldn't get that bar. But the provoke lands as well. And Chow, not even needed the violent proc, but just adding insult to injury. Even critting wind, critting off element there. Mendieta is loving life right now.
Mendieta was not happy in the very first turn, but just 2 minutes later, the game has evolved into something that we cannot expect. And we might be hitting the end game here. The Thessarian, Oblivion the Chow, put it up on the Chow. But Cardinal is a very scary thing in the late game. If Cardinal manages to get another skill 3 out, this might be over.
Cardinal skill 3 is available, I believe. I mean, the shot is proccing every turn. Mendieta is somehow still raging. Like, he seems like he hasn't won this game. I mean, this game is completely over if you ask me. This Cardinal... Actually, Cardinal is not full health, so maybe Thessarian, violent proc, could be taken out... Wait a second. This is actually not over. The Cardinal... Wait, if Thessarian has skill 2,
is he going to
kill the Cardinal? Wait.
Is he going to send it to Cardinal? He's going for it. Triple...
Oh, he missed the defense break.
He did not get a death frame, but get the violent, bro. Oh my god.
Both these players are sweating, bro. Look at them.
Oh no! The corner's gonna go down. The chow's gonna go down. Triton, unfortunately, last one standing, not a bio, and too old to do this job on his own. And Triton will be the one losing this round. The curse was too strong, Mendieta. Even though he fought really, really well, the Triton curse is on him, and he's gonna lose this match.
Well, I'm actually absolutely speechless. I thought Mendia had this in the bag for sure. But then the Shaha proc back to back, which actually just deleted the Chow when it was Oblivion, so it couldn't cleanse any of that. It wasn't able to be heal block. I mean, not that it would be heal anyways, but yeah, it was able to take all the debuffs and then Thessarian with the just one shot in the Carnal from that. And that's just complete. I thought that game was so over, and Amante Bandido out of nowhere just takes the win. Wow.
Yeah, Amante Bandido clutching it up where he needed to for skills over bills, getting a point on the board and saving them from immediate defeat at the hands of Parceros. So now this is very much still in the realm of possibility for skills over bills. Sean, that might have been my new favorite game that we've seen so far.
What was that, bro? That was crazy how things were moving. And somehow the Cardinal at the very end moment, he just refused to stun. If he just land one stun, could have changed the game. But no, just not 60% accuracy. Nah. I don't have
Which is
that.
insane.
I don't know. Yeah,
Insane.
that's crazy.
Because, dude, at one point in that game, so that near the beginning, when stuns were flying, when procs were happening, there were six of the 8 monsters in play were all stunned at the same time. That was such a crazy situation, Topa. Like, I loved watching that game.
Yeah, that was an insane match. I mean, yeah, it started so bad for Mendieta, missing on like the most important unit right there. Well, arguably Villagel is more important, but you had other ways of controlling the Villagel. With that Megumi or the Carnal, since you had that speed advantage, you were outspeeding it. So just missing on that Shiho was so bad, and then getting stunned to the Carnal. But then Carnal just procking out, no problem. Megumi procking out, everything procking out.
Everything procking.
And that Shiho, you know, only thing that wasn't procking was the Villagel, which, you know, really put Amante Bad in the back foot. But then somehow he came back with the procs in the late game. The Oblivion landed in the Chow. The Shah got back-to-back procs, which just completely killed the Chow. And then Tessarian getting the violent proc to finish off the Karna. I mean, what just absolute cinema of a match right there.
Legitimately, cinema for real. And even at the end, like just Tessarian missing all the defense breaks, so that way it's like Carnal hung on for just a little bit longer. Like, it was full of moments like that, unbelievable moments. And now it's come to this: Gab versus Orkut. This could still be match point for Parceros right now, or skills over bills could tie it up and take us to a tiebreaker match. Keep your eyes peeled, everybody, and take it away, Topa and Sean, for what could be the last game in this matchup.
Oh boy, I see a Triton, I see a Tronder, so we'll see who had the better force pick here. That Triton is going to have to be drafted by Gab, but that Chandra is going to have drafted by Orca, and we have another double LD matchup here. So we actually, every single game, I believe, has been, no, the first game wasn't, but the last 3 games have all been double LD matchups, and there's a Horang in play for Gab.
I think you should not pick the Triton early. Probably have to wait until you see the enemy draft, even if you are forced to pick it. But if you pick it too early, they can exploit it. So I think Triton is a pretty decent last pick here with the Maxi and the Huarang. Let's see what he decides to do. He's going to go for the Huarang, the Velajo. I think Triton's actually not too bad if Okra just not go in with Fire Megumi.
That is a very good point. Gab did get the perfect LD5 for the Triton pair. He does have the Maximilian, so he could be looking at a double Swift, double speed lead. This is almost a draft you could see on the ladder, honestly. Like, Velajo Water Twin combo is pretty strong. You just have an all-around very strong Monster and Horang right there, and then have a strong last pick. Just steal the turn one for sure, and have that AoE cleave potential.
Yeah, I gotta say, Triton looks okay in this position where Okra is going solid turn 2-ish, but without the turn 2 passive. So I think Maxi Triton is looking kind of strong-ish in this position. Or he can go for Triton and Water Draken Warrior as well.
Yeah, could opt to go for the Dragon Warrior. That is obviously a bit, maybe a bit safer of a pick there, as the Maxi is built on a pretty high damage, squishy Despair set here, so is vulnerable to getting controlled and kind of proc out of that. The Dragon Warrior into the hand, obviously very tanky, and I think Gab is pretty happy just banning the last pick here.
Yeah, I think that Triton is looking okay-ish in this position with a Dyna ban. He has some control, he has some damage, he has a little bit of everything, but he gotta finish one of the enemy target quickly. And I think that might have to be a Kumara kill as soon as possible.
Definitely. There's a little bit of everything, but there's not a lot of damage on Gab's side. The Belaju is not building damage. The Dracan Warrior doesn't have the best additional damage artifacts. Triton obviously almost kills the enemy team, how little damage he does. But he does land everything except for a couple bars.
All right, here we go, guys. Can he do it? We got a Water Twin Angel with the defense break. He's putting it onto the Werner and pushing the attack bar of the Villager as well. We got the silence coming out. A lot of silence, but not a whole lot of damage. Here we go. Oh, missed the silence onto the Werner. He can steal their 3-turn immunity from there. Oh, he stole almost everything on the side of Gab.
That is pretty unfortunate unit to miss on, is that Werner, because obviously just took that immunity, so he can't even silence it with that Trident follow-up right there. The Twin Angels can look to lower cooldown of either the Cause for the Belajul, just trying to get back in that immunity protection.
Alright, nothing too crazy happened with Awkward, no crazy Violent proc just yet. Even with Violent proc, you can't really control the enemy because of the 2-turn silence that came out of the Dragon Warrior, and there is another 2-turn silence coming out of the Triton if he managed to land his skill.
Yeah, Gab is layering these silences very well here. Now has the Soul of Arc also taking that skill to absorbing some attack part. Gets a Violent proc anyway, so a bit more damage is always welcome. And Trident is going to be looking to get some silences back on the board here very soon.
Okay, we have the Chandra looking for a target for a quick stun. Can he do it? He's gonna go for the Water Dragon Warrior. He did not get a stun. Another 2-turn stuns coming out. He is dropping it. He land onto the Monk. He did not go land on the Kumar though, which can be bad news if the Kumar get a Violent proc right now.
Whoa, that's a lot of stuns. Not that it matters that much as the units are silenced anyways, but also did miss on the Chandra. If Kumar gets a proc here, that is a full cleanse coming through, and there it is, the caster blessing slash curse as activated.
Huge proc for the Kumar with the Trick of Fire, shutting down the Villager at the same time, waking up the monstrosity that is Son Sang Lao, and he's going in, and that is so much control. Things are looking really bad for Gab immediately with one Kumar proc.
Oh my god, the one proc to rule them all on that Kumar. That was just game-winning proc. Without that proc, Gab is looking so solid, and with that proc, his whole team's dead. Like, it's literally just gone. Like, the defense breaks, slows, silences. Like, what can you do? Nothing. This game is just fully over, and looks like we're going to be going to a tiebreaker here, unless, you know, Gab can really pull a miracle here. Maybe the Belajul proc. Belajul, can we get the counter proc? You know, he would have immunity.
That is gonna be magical, but no, Ocker is getting all the procs in the world. The moment Dragon Warrior goes down, I think that's kind of over because that was his main damage and control unit, and I don't think that unit's gonna survive. Oh, it survived, but it's a little bit too late now. Oh my god, one after another. Gab is getting absolutely proc Gab right there, and that's GG. Ocker is gonna bring the game to a tiebreaker.
Whoa, proc mogged live on stream. that was the most important proc I've ever seen, and you called it Toba.
Yeah, that was just incredible. I mean, we kind of saw the Gab's pitfall in that matchup. He had, you know, decent control with that Soul of Arc. Only really had the Soul of Arc for control. Maybe with the Twin Angel stun, but obviously that stun just got fake debuff, got procced out of, and, you know, the rest was history right there. He didn't have the damage to take anything out. You know, he got a couple of rotations there, but nothing died on Orcat's side there. So he was able to just get that one violent proc and completely bounce back and win that match.
So, Sean, with that said, and now with the game in our hindsight, would you have preferred the Soul of Arc to be something else? We talked about the Maximilian ahead during the pick ban phase. Would you have preferred that, or was there something else?
Yeah, maybe if he managed to kill things a bit quicker, that could have made a difference, because control comes with the caveat that if they proc, you just kind of cooked immediately. And the fact that Triton, once again, his hands were too shaky to silence the Kumar for 2 turns. He missed that opportunity, and Kumar immediately utilized the situation and cleansed everybody else, because the Triton could silence everyone with the exception of Kumar, of course.
Yeah, that's right, because, you know, it's like you said, we have 2 units that are very prone to proccing and saving the day, be it Velajul or Kumar. One had, you know, if either one of them did it, it was going to be game changing. So that's kind of like part of that threat assessment, and also part of like how fast can I kill something? That's kind of like what you got to factor into this. Am I comfortable playing into that situation? And ultimately what this tells me too, Topa, is that Kumar is just as cool as we keep saying he is.
Yeah, he may not scale in the late game with his damage or anything, but if you have other means of damage, we have the defense break, Tom Sang Lao, as well as obviously Werner, everyone's MVP here. You don't need the Kumar for damage. You can just use it for that cleanse, that healing, and oh boy, what a cleanse that was.
Yeah, dang Skippy, dude. So what you're seeing now, guys, is Parceros is deciding which player they want to represent them in the tiebreaker. We're going to one more game here. This is the last one, the one to rule them all, as it were, in this makeshift best of 5 now. So essentially what we're doing here is we're going to take one from each team, throw them in, gladiatorial combat, all the same, skills over bills versus Parceros. One more time. We'll see what happens here, guys. We'll see who they choose to field going in here. And again, it is very much still a team sport here, because that means that when one goes, the whole team at least will be on the call going with them in spirit to support them in that tiebreaker match. This is a really important decision because, again, this is the last stream for the Americas Summit. This is where we're going to be seeing who walks away with the lion's share of the $10,000 prize pool. And it looks like in this tiebreaker game, it's going to be Pac-Man John versus Wallen. Let's see how this goes, guys. Topa and Sean, we're queuing up here one last time. It should be noted the pre-ban and the force pick are still in effect. We're still within that same set. So here we go, guys. One last time between these two teams. Take it away.
It's interesting to see that Skills for Bills chose Pac-Man John here, who actually did lose his matchup earlier just now. I mean, I guess they really have confidence in Pac-Man John to take this home. Because, I mean, this is do or die. Whoever wins this match just moves on to the finals, guarantees at least second place and $3,500 of that prize pool right there. That's a big pay jump, winning this match here.
Also, I think, hey man, there's nobody more hungrier than the man who lost, probably. So he's going in with the quest for revenge, and I think that is where his motivation is going to be way higher as well. But we also saw that the Chandra pre-select didn't really work out too well, because you are technically giving the enemy a speed lead with slow debuff. So that's not really a disadvantage most of the time.
And that won't definitely be the case in this match, as there's no Chandra, no Triton. But we have another double LD matchup, which is great to see, and this is going to be the one to decide them all. No forced picks in this match. There's that Chiwa, I believe, was in the pre-ban, but either way, we probably won't be seeing that monster.
Oh, we got the Wind Draken Warrior for the first time today, I think, to go with the Saurian into a Kovaci. Kovaci is going to do really well into a draft with the Dark Monkey King, with the Chow. It's going to look great for Pac-Man in this game.
Yeah, the Kovaci is quite a strong monster, and it's another way to just really protect your team, first of all, but also amplify your damage. Today's theme has kind of been the attack scaling, right? HP scaling versus attack scaling. HP scaling doesn't really do anything for you in the long game. Attack scaling wins you those long games, and attack buff just accelerates that even more.
Oh, we got Bruiser getting picked up after the Kovaci for Pac-Man. He's hiding his high damage unit in the last two picks here so that Warrens cannot count on them properly. Warren's going to pick up a generic healer. That's going to be Chiwu. And we have a Verd getting picked up for, I think, the first time today as well. I'm not sure what the Verd is supposed to do right there, but this is a triple revenge Verd, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yes, this is a triple revenge Verd, 100 res, 100 crit. So there's I don't see any AoEs on Pac-Man's side, aside from Shizuka's skill today, which doesn't even hit your monster. So that's a very questionable Vertihal pick right there. Maybe, I mean, it's definitely just being picked as an accelerator for your team. Obviously, we see that we're going to Bruiser fight, so we're picking up a Vertihal to try and gain as many turns as possible here.
Oh, that's going to be the Vert Diana strategy. Funny how you have a Ragdoll, but Vert is just better at doing the attack bar boost job. And Vert getting picked up instead of Ragdoll. We've got Diana getting banned out, Chow getting banned out. Pac-Man has a lot of control, but he doesn't have a lot of damage at the moment.
Well, you have a lot of damage if you have attack buff and defense break, which is what you do have here. So Pac-Man John definitely could still have enough damage here. Riley looks to have enough immunity to hopefully protect the team here. And maybe the Thessarian has been performing quite well, even into Chow. You see that Chow was banned out here, however.
Here we go. Oh, Boost himself, waiting for the moment to get the attack buff, but he will have to receive a lot of damage here. Imagine if there was like a violent proc, the Siren could have finished off the Kovachi.
Yeah, that could have taken out Kovachi immediately, but that also does give Defense Break and Oblivion now. This Shizuka skill 3 when she decides to use that. So now that immunity is being removed from this Thessarian, the Vertical actually cuts in here, but the Gapsu cleanse that Defense Break off the Kovachi.
Oh, they're going straight into the Thessarian because you know that without the Thessarian, one's not gonna have a lot of damage, and we have the Shizuka skill 3 with Oblivion ready to go. Is he gonna throw it?
He's really contemplating, taking the time here, choosing to wait. It's probably a smart decision here. So now Kovachi buffs up here. Is the Drakon Warrior going to be using it? Drakon Warrior is going to be using that skill 3. And now his Wallen's team is going to be wide open. Even if Riley procs, there's no immunity coming.
Oh, there is a little bit of healing, but that's definitely not going to be enough. We have Shizuka coming. Vert is going to give the team, I think, 40% attack bar, but that is nowhere near enough to give. Oh, counter attack with the big Oblivion.
That's a pretty nice counter in the Oblivion, as now Gaps doesn't get that 20% attack bar from the Vertical skill 1. But this is going to be the, this is the window for Pac-Man that he's been waiting for. The monkey comes in, stuns nearly everything, defense breaks everything, and this is where the damage is going to be dealt. Shizuka can now, could even save the skill 3 as everything's already kind of stunned.
Double cooldown reduction for the Dark Monkey King, and the defense break is going to provide a lot of extra damage for him because he's going to be able to do a lot of damage even with the support unit. Huge double dispatch and big violent proc coming out from the Riley as well.
Wow, Riley getting the violent proc. Oh my goodness, I had Drakon Warrior, the Erechion hasn't seen any play here today, but maybe should be seeing a bit more as he's put an absolute performance here today. All these stuns coming out. Thessarian now getting that Oblivion refresh on the Gapsu, so there's no healing really coming out on Pac-Man's side.
Summoners, man. From one moment you thought the guy with the Dark Monkey is gonna absolutely dominate, and suddenly he is losing his foothold one after another, and there's nothing much he can do because of the AoE Despair stun coming out from the Wind Dragon Warrior. And he's losing a unit, and he lost the window to land and control the Shizuka as well with all these immunity.
Yeah, the immunity's back up. Riley even getting a violent proc, so now does have skill 2 available once again. Drakon Warrior has the skills available with this Vertical boost. I believe you're boosting in front of the Shizuka, so Mon's team is going to be fully protected here. Doesn't get that defense break, but doesn't need. Siren has a backup defense break on his skill, and that's going to take out the monkey by a large margin. There's not really any damage left on Pac-Man's side, while Wallen's team is at full health.
Oh my god, that is crazy. From one moment he thought he was losing, the next moment he's absolutely killing everything on the other team. And I think even with Shizuka, there's nothing much you can do because you can buy some time with the skill 3, but the moment the skill 3 wears off, it's over immediately.
He maybe was a bit too greedy for Pac-Man there. He didn't use that Shizuka skill 3 when everything was stunned beside that Drakon Warrior. And Drakon Warrior made full use of that one turn that he had. It stunned 2 monsters, and then there was no opportunity for Pac-Man to come back. But he does have skill 3 here. It's only just going to be 1 skill 3, and then that monkey disappears, and there's not any follow-up damage.
Yeah, unfortunately, that revive is only temporary. It's not forever. So you don't have like the follow-up damage that you usually would have if the unit gets properly revived.
Yeah, and exchange it does take a turn immediately, but we're kind of just stalling on the inevitable here, it feels like. Shizuka does get another revive. Who do you revive? You're gonna revive a Gapsu for skill 2. I don't even have a skill 2. You get a skill 1 punch, and 5,000 damage is all you're rewarded with, and that is not gonna be enough to take out anything on Wallen's side. He is going to march to a dominant victory here.
Oh, immunity is gonna go down. Kovachi is going down, and all the damage that he's trying to do get fixed immediately by the Riley.
It definitely does. Vertical now going to be confirming the kill of the Kovachi here, and Pac-Man John is enjoying his final moments in this round here. And maybe they should have chosen a more confident player, as Pac-Man John is not able to get the job done there, unfortunately.
And Wallen takes it for Parceros, moving the entire team into the finalist position. That was well played. So, Sean, that was some great performance by Tessarion, by the way. He really leveraged that well and shut down the Gapsu pretty early.
Yeah, he did a lot of damage to pretty much everybody with the defense break, with the damage, the scale up when I think enemy has debuff. So Tessarion is a very underrated unit overall because he's free, and you know, free stuff, people don't really appreciate that a lot, but he can be very deadly with the right rune combination and the right team.
Yeah, he's a sleeper for sure. It's like he's so effective against all these powerful passives that we see all over the place. And then it's like you said, he's got the increased damage on debuffs. He gets damage reduction himself. Like, he's great. People write him off because, like, you know, he's a one-trick pony in a sense, right? You bring him for Oblivion, but he is the best at oblivioning things. There we go. So our finals is set. Chaos versus Parceros in those finals. Now, we do have to play for 3rd and 4th place. So we will be seeing more from Skills Over Bills as well as GLHF in the 3rd and 4th place match here before we get to the finals, before we crown our grand champion for the teams here at the Americas Summit for 2026. So this has been so fun so far, deciding who's going to be the finalists. And Topa, I think we've seen like some of the best games of the whole show today. Oh, and what? Some of the best coupon codes. Final 4 teams, AMSUM26. Write that down. Write that down. Write that down. But yeah, Topa, best games so far here at the finals.
Oh yeah, for sure. And we're only getting started. You know, now we've figured out our final match or finalist match as well as our 3rd and 4th place match. So, you know, this is, I guess, for all the pay jumps that are going to be happening here. So very important matches coming up.
Yes, guys, look forward to more. Look forward to the latter half of the tournament after a short break.
Sun songs, I know that I've got lots to prove. I should know I'll be so good to you. I know I've got a lot to lose. I realize that you are the sunlight in my life. I think that I need you to shine by my side. And the nights that I'm not sleeping, I only wanna feel you laying next to me. And the beats my heart is skipping, maybe 'cause I'm missing what you awaken me. And the nights that I'm not sleeping, I only wanna feel you laying next to me. And the beats my heart is skipping, maybe 'cause I'm missing what you awaken me.
And we are back yet again for the Americas Summit 2026 Grand Finals. Now, this time, we are about to head into the third and fourth place game right now. Topa, these have still been some of the best games that I've seen throughout the entire tournament run.
Yeah, they really have. We've seen a lot of back and forth, you know, even in those even in the first matchup between Chaos and Good Luck Have Fun. You know, we saw the Shiho, especially in that Jeff Boladao match, like the Shiho did outlast the Wind Monkey. You know, it was close, but the Wind Monkey drew the first blood, but then Shiho came back, and obviously Vanessa revived there too. And then even, you know, I mean, we saw the absolute roller coaster match between Mendieta there and his opponent.
Yeah, absolutely. And now we're getting into the third and fourth place match between Good Luck Have Fun and Skills Over Bills. We'll decide which one is taking home more in the prize pool segment here. So, Sean, favorite force pick now having hindsight to benefit us here, having seen Chandra, Duke, Triton, and Chiwoo all force picked over the tournament. Which one's your favorite?
I think it still has to be Triton. Triton has been absolutely not doing anything, and even missing out on a free win is diabolical work from Triton right there.
Yeah, he can't clutch it up even under the best circumstances right now, unfortunately, because, you know, it's like we were talking about too. Chiwoo at least has auto-critting skill too, so on a defense break, he can pump out some pretty serious damage with that, to be totally honest. And he has the speed lead to benefit him. So I am inclined to agree, though I really do like what they're thinking there, Topa, with like the max HP scaling damage dealers.
Yeah, I mean, Triton, even when he seemed like a good pick, he still just didn't do enough. Like, it's just so hard for that Triton to make that thing work. And, you know, the Triton was force picked in 2 matches. It lost both those matches. The Chandra, on the other hand, was force picking a couple matches, and it won at least one, right? So, I mean, having 50% win rate is not bad. I mean, there's some of the most used monsters in RTA are sub 50% win rin.
It's true, and I will say that on some of the teams where Chandra was there, he did look right at home. That, you know, I barely remembered that it was even a force pick position, because it's like AoE slow, plus a little bit of defense for your team and a speed lead. That's pretty good. It's like, you know, generally there will be times where that's super relevant here. And there they are. Good luck, have fun, and skills over bills for the last time. Matching up here again in the 3rd and 4th place match ahead of the grand finals. They're trying to figure out how to mitigate threats, who they want to field for this. So here are the matches for this 3rd and 4th place game here. We're starting off with Dark Garchomp, Orkut. Then we go into Jeff Bolladell versus A Little Jenny, Vinny versus Pac-Man John, and True Whale versus Amante Bandido to wrap up in match 4 there. Just like the other games, we're going to see if they want to maybe swap any of these matchups with the Devilmon. They also have the Water Angelmon, which allows them obviously to pre-ban a monster. And they have the Fire Angelmon, which allows them to make their opponents force pick a monster if it appears in their lineup, which is what we've been discussing so far here. So we'll see, we'll check in with these teams and see what they decide here. So Topa, what would you advise these teams do if you were in that Zoom call with them right now?
Oh man, that's a pretty hard question in a sense. I mean, you could like overcomplicate. I think you probably just want to keep it kind of simple. Just stick to the Chibu or Triton or maybe the Fireball, right? I think Fireball obviously didn't even get a single win, so that's also quite a poor performance coming out of that monster. But maybe I think if you think too much about it, you get into just trying to cook with like the Chandra pre-ban or Chandra force pick. I think you're just getting a bit too overzealous there.
And what about you, Sean? Do you agree, or would you tell them to do something different?
Yeah, I think we kind of want to go back to the good old Triton, but then if the pre-ban also goes on Triton, then you kind of waste a slot. So maybe because it's a 3rd and 4th place match, we might want to see some cooking to be done here. Maybe pre-pick like a Fire Megumi or something. Oh, wait a minute.
Look at that. So we've got the mutual pre-ban on Triton. So Triton is off the table for both. So no Triton involved whatsoever. And if there's a Chiwu on either side, they have to pick it. So hey, Topa, is this the best or the worst case scenario?
This is the casino scenario here. Who gets the Chiwu is going to be at such a disadvantage, and we hope that it's going to be equal between the teams, but it could be that one team ends up with Chiwu all 4 games, and that's going to be a pretty tough challenge to come back from.
Dude, this is hilarious. This is legitimately just like a duel. Pistols at dawn. Chiwu's at dawn, chat. That's what this is right now. This is whoever gets it is at a disadvantage. I want to see if anybody decides to lean into it. You know how we saw that Maximilian in play where it's like he could have been picked alongside the Triton. I want to see people try to make the best of this situation if they can. But we'll see what happens here. Dark Garchomp and Orkut are queuing up right now. We are getting into the pick ban phase of this 3rd and 4th place set here. Let's see who shows up for the 3rd and who places last at the grand finals of the America Summit for 2026. Topa and Sean, take it away for match number 1.
We're getting the match very shortly here, and it's worth noting that both of these teams are going away with a little bit of money. They're all in the money, so no one's going empty-handed here. And scanning for Chibu, I don't see a Chibu anywhere.
Oh, there's no Chiwu at all. The Chiwu special failed to deliver in the first episode. So we're starting off with the usual suspect here. We got the Werner. We got over there double LD5 on both teams, looking really strong as well for both LD5. But I think Maximilian is really underused in challenge mode because people just don't believe in the damage potential of his unit.
The damage potential is it's somewhat there, but everything's just so tanky. Like it does good damage. It's on crit damage, 100 crit. I believe it's like plus 1300 attack. It's like pretty high on the attack as well. But like everything is just so overwhelmingly tanky in this game mode that Maximilian just doesn't really cut it. And Dark Garchomp not picking any healers, just picking a lot of strong monsters at the start.
I like that. I like that we're going in with big damage. We don't care about staying for the end game anymore. But we still got a Kumar. We still got a Gapsu for each team right there. So they do have a little bit of healing. But I think they're leaning towards drafting more damage-oriented unit, which is great.
They definitely are. Could see, yep, I was going to say, could see the Kovarch last pick, a bit of both. Obviously, you get that slight healing on the skill one, but then you obviously get a lot of damage amplification with that attack buff, as well as the ability to lower the cooldowns and even boost up, your Werner, the faster skill 2s, and giving a speed buff as well. Speed and defense buff on top of a Werner is a lot of damage on the skill 2.
Oh, we got a Chow last pick right there. Very appropriate. No win unit on the other side with the quick Chow last pick. That's going to put a lot of pressure on Darker Charm. If we get a little bit of a longer match here, so Chow can amplify his damage quite a fair bit.
I don't hate the Chow. It might be the best possible pick, but I don't think it's that big of a threat to where you need to ban it out. Dark Archon disagrees with me, does ban out the Chow. You have either the Horang or the Verna. I assume one of them would be getting banned out, but both can deal with Chow. And on top of that, you have a Kumar Oblivion, and we saw just how much Chow crumbles when he has an Oblivion sitting on top of him.
And here we go, guys. First match for the 3rd and 4th place. And we're starting off with Kovaci providing the buff, but there is that Wind Dragon Warrior to take away the buff immediately. So he only has like a 1-turn attack buff to utilize.
Well, the Megumi is going to move in front of that Drakon Warrior with that boost from Kovaci, and it's definitely going to be looking to stun that Drakon Warrior. Just keep these buffs on his team as long as possible. And Werner getting pretty good skill too there. Almost all the immunities have been removed. So Kumar can also look at an AoE silence.
Oh, big stun coming out, and we've got AoE stuns coming out as well. Imagine we get a Violent Pride into a Oblivion onto the... He goes straight for the Oblivion, does not give... does not care about the silence at all. Going back into the Fire Megami with the Tessarion, but the immunity from Kovaci is protecting the unit really, really well.
I was going to say, I think we just use the Kumar skill 1 here for Oblivion, as we know the Eretion is built on a Despair build. That unit is not going to be Violent proccing out of that stun. So your immunities are protected. You don't need to put a 2-turn silence on it. Just 1 turn power control is going to be enough. And now the Oblivion on top of the gaps, nothing's getting cleansed, nothing's getting healed, and the damage can pile up, and you can look to get an even more valuable skill 3 silence here on this next rotation when no units are stunned.
All right, now is a little bit of a blow exchange between these units, because we don't have like a decisive one-shot damage coming out from anyone just yet. And here comes the strip. It's gonna come no matter what, because you cannot keep this unit down forever. Big strip, no despair stun, unfortunately, and Kumar is ready to go with a heal.
Yeah, might go up go for the heal now. Maybe a slight miscalculation, Dark Card jump there. The Eretion actually outpaced the Kumar there, so he's unable to get that silence in time. Now, just often go for that heal. Megumi getting a bit more control on the Shaha, but Tessarion is coming with a defense break and an Oblivion.
And there's the more healing, which means this damage gonna really, really hurt. Kovaci might heal, but the healing was heavily nerfed in the balance patch recently. So even with the skill 1, he does not bring a lot of sustain for this Fire Megami. But the cooldown reduction onto the Kumar leading into a heal was very well played.
Yeah, that does provide a lot of healing. Getting the cooldown reduction on that skill, so obviously, since it did not cleanse any debuffs, it's only a 2-turn cooldown, so you can immediately refresh it. Now it's going to be on a 1-turn longer cooldown, as there were some debuffs getting cleansed from this Megumi. But still, the Megumi is not looking all too healthy, and Tessarion is looking to take another turn and probably just delete this monster from the battlefield.
Are we seeing a huge Despair stun coming out? We saw earlier that this skill 2 can change the flow if you let out Despair stun, but it didn't let it go Despair stun. Unfortunately, big damage onto the 5 Megami, with 5 Megami still going in and land his another stun onto the Shahan. It's not looking good for both teams. They just can't find a window to do anything.
It really isn't. This Eretion is having quite the opposite performance of the Eretion we saw earlier. I don't think this Eretion has landed a single stun. He's used 2 AoEs now. On average, 25% Despair chance. We've seen 2 stuns by now. We haven't seen any. And Kumar, on the other hand, lands every... Okay, there it is. We finally get a stun on the skill 1. But every single silence lands on the Kumar. Capsule is going to be cleansing one of those.
Oh, nothing really happens over there once again. Maybe the sun's going to finish off 5 Megami this time around, but no! He could not finish the Fire Megami, and there's another layer of immunity coming back up from Kovaci.
And with attack buff and defense buff sitting on top of this burner, the skill 2 is going to do pretty good damage. Capsule healing is also not the craziest. And Kumar, no healing available now as it's on that 1 longer cooldown. Could be looking to Oblivion this gap, just removing the heals completely. And it does get it, and the Violent proc. The lens coming, and the heal is coming to Megumi. This Megumi is hanging on somehow.
The hidden MVP, Kumar, is actually the one keeping Daka Jump in this game, because without all that healing, without the Oblivion, I think he's gonna have so much more trouble against Awkward, but he's doing really well. And it's kind of funny that the Kumar was sort of discovered by being a forced pick in the earlier weeks, and now Kumar is a mainstay in one of these drafts.
It really is, and this is looking quite good for Dark Garchomp right now. He is in control here. That Oblivion is still on top of this gap, so it's not getting an attack bar from this shield that's coming out of Kovarchi. And the Megumi is looking quite healthy. Tessarian's not getting any additional turns at all to get rid of this Megumi. And Kumar, on the other hand, looking to Oblivion of the monster. And Werner, I think one more Werner skill 2 is just gonna almost win this game here.
And he might get it. And he might get it. Does he? No, he doesn't. Here comes another stun coming out from the Fire Megumi. But which one is it going to be on? Is it going to be on to the Tessarian to stop damage? Or is it going to be on somebody else?
I almost would put it on the Gapsul here, so you get the extra value of the attack bar pushback here. Gapsul does have skills available. That's not quite going to take out the Megumi just yet. And now we get another boost attack buff immunity from the Kovarchi, and that's going to be into a skill 2 from the Werner. That is going to be taking out that Shaha and almost the entire team of Orca. Actually, the damage from Werner is just so insane.
Took a fire going in, another layer of damage. Tessarian can finally bring out the Fire Megumi, gets the violent proc, but I feel it is a little bit too late for the Tessarian performance over here, because the Tessarian is also going down very, very soon to 3 units going for him.
It is definitely too little too late for Orca here. He could just go for a Kovarchi skill 1 here, not lowering any cooldowns. Even with just 2 skill 1s, Tessarian will be leaving the battlefield. Werner does it himself. Takes out the Megumi. Now Oblivion once again on top of the Capsule. This Kumar's been so consistent the entire match, and Dark Garchomp takes the W.
Nice dub off the start for Dark Garchomp. Werner said, nah, I'd win, as he always does. It was well played. That's off to a good start for Good Luck. Have fun there, Sean.
Indeed, very, very good start right there. And we did not get to see any Chigo in there. That was really unfortunate.
Yeah, what are the odds of that, right? He didn't appear in anybody's box the time, then everybody has to pick him. That was pretty fun. But I gotta say, dude, yeah, Topa, I really like the way Dark Garchomp played it. I thought he did really good.
Yeah, it was a lot of back and forth in that match too. I think Dark Garchomp, ultimately pulled ahead. That Kumar got a couple of clutch procs, got that cooldown reduction from Kovarchi too, and really kept the Megumi alive. I thought that Megumi was going to leave the battle about 30 turns earlier and was going to be the first one to leave the battlefield at that too. But by the time the Megumi died, I mean, Warcut's entire team was pretty much just dead.
Yeah. Oh, I wanted to go back to something that Sean pointed out with Kumar, because we've spent so much time being so stoked on Kumar and talking about how much utility he brings and how good he is. And Sean reminded us in the course of that game there that it's like we discovered him because of the force picks.
Yeah, pretty much, because if he wasn't force picked and he didn't win in those force pick game, we would probably still ignore him entirely, because he is a siege monster, not an RTA one. But now in challenge mode, he is the monster for the challenge mode.
Yeah, it's like everybody unanimously was underestimating him, and like, he really showed up and did a good job. It's like the Oblivion comes in clutch, but I think really the cleanse and the 2 instances of cleanse and the healing on skill 2 is just insane. Like he just works really well as like a 4th pick on a lot of teams here. Here we go, guys. Jeff Bulladell versus a little Jenny, a team captain from 1 and a cool as a cucumber. Jeff Bulladell from Good Luck Have Fun over here. Let's get into it, Topa and Sean.
Here we go. Jeff Bulladell looking to extend the lead for GLHF and put them at match point. But it's going to be an uphill battle, as there is that Chiyu that Jeff Bulladell is just going to lock in right away.
Oh, he's going with a Chiwu. He has a Maximilian and Eretion this time around. I think it's probably going to be Eretion into the Sovok right there. But I hope it's going to be Maxi, though. I really do.
Yeah, Jeff Bulladell could actually have quite of a Giga Cleave setup here. Does have a Solvark, does have the Maximilian for pretty good follow-ups, as well as that Werner that does quite a bit of damage. The little Jenny does have answers to this, however. There's a Megumi and a Diana on her side. So Jeff Bulladell is going for his 3rd picking a Maximilian.
I like that. Unfortunately for him, though, there is a Heigang that could potentially be the force ban on the other side, together with the Fire Megumi that can come between and stun the Maximilian. And that is why we don't see a lot of Maximilian, because the moment you draft it, there are like 5 things that the other team can use to answer that unit.
And there is that Heigang being drafted by Jenny, but also a Shaha. I'm not sure about the Shaha here. I feel like either a Diana or a Megumi would just do more in this matchup. As you know, Megumi could be cutting in and just stunning the Maximilian. Diana, you know, kind of doing the same thing. And so Jeff Paladao doesn't fully commit to the AoE playstyle here. Not pick up the Soul of Arc for the Silence, but instead going for Shizuka and Tessarian, who has been seeing a lot of play here today.
Can the Maxi die to simply getting death broken by the Water Twin into a Hwarang turn? I wonder, because you mentioned the Maxi is actually on a high damage squishy build.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know the exact damage numbers, but with the Hwarang being a crit rate build too, a lot of the damage is kind of just front loaded on that, and especially on defense break. I wouldn't be surprised if that Maxi literally just gets deleted off of that, as the Heigang is likely going to be the force ban on Jenny's side.
All right, guys, here we go. Jeff Paladao and a little Jenny going at it. The force pick Chiwu will stay on the field with a Heigang ban as well. I think it depends on the turn one heavily here. This game might end very quickly.
Yeah, it's going to depend on that, but Chiwu does take the turn one here. Can he get the pushbacks? Does not get any pushback on either Hwarang or Water Twin. So Hwarang could be connected by his Water Twin, and can it just one-shot this Maxi? Or all eyes are on this right now.
Here we go, big defense break. Sending it to a unit that doesn't provide any more value to the field. So that is a very good start for Jeff Paladao. He got a beautiful start onto the Velaju right there. And Maxi plus that heavy damage to Sauron is about to take a turn.
That was definitely a timeout on Jenny's side. Ran out of time and used those skills. Now Tessarian is revenging the Hwarang. Goodbye passive, and this Maximilian is going to feast.
Oh my god. The most perfect counterplay from Tessarian. Might be the MVP of today. Maximilian going in, getting a beautiful turn, absorbing some attack bar, letting the defense break. Beautiful despair start, and the light Hwarang is going out. Velaju get a decisive violent proc, but it might be a little bit too late.
Yeah, that was an insane revenge coming out of Tessarian. I mean, Jenny has obviously timing out on that Water Twins didn't help, but also just some misplaying going on. Going to that Tessarian, which is very tanky. I mean, he could just gone for this Maxi, and the Hwarang, I believe, did get a violent proc that turn. So even if the violent proc, even without a defense break on top of Maxi, may have still died, because you do get the damage going from that skill too, as it was immunity up there.
But once again, the game is not over yet, because Velaju Water Twin is one of the deadliest combo in Summoners World with this crazy amount of sustain and support. And the Shaha is doing an incredible amount of damage, and you can see why Maxi is not being played for a whole lot in the transfer, because he's a one-pump man. He's kind of done after you get the skill 3 out.
He really is, but this is why Chiwu is probably a lot better than Trident, as he's the skill 2 damage. That is enough to finish off the Velajul, and the Werner is probably going to be carrying this match. The Velajul twin combination broken down. I don't think the Shaha can take this Werner down fast enough for Jenny to win this, and Jeff Paladao easily feeling himself as he goes Super Saiyan here.
But I don't, even with Super Saiyan, is that going to be enough? I think he's winning this one. He's transforming. His power is over 9,000. And he is going to take down a Shahan with his burner here, doing a lot of damage here with the Siren as well. And the Super Saiyan is going to be the one taking the W.
Dude, the Super Saiyan for the win. That's so cool, dude. Man, he really took that Chiwu in stride. That was exactly what I asked for, Sean. I said I want somebody to lean into the Chiwu. He made it happen with the Maxi.
Yeah, and it worked out pretty well. And that perfectly timed counter attack from the Siren was beautiful as well.
Dude, that was awesome. I was just about to bring that up. Yeah, Tofu, the fact that he got the Oblivion on a revenge is insane. So he didn't have to commit a turn to it.
Yeah, that was very crucial, because the Maxi outspeeds the Tessarian. So if you don't get that revenge, the Hwarang doesn't have Oblivion on it, so Maxi is very likely to glance. So you're obviously not getting your debuffs, but you're also doing a lot less damage. And if that doesn't happen, the Tessarian probably can't kill the Hwarang turn 1. And we saw the Velajul procced out. So had the Hwarang not being dead, the Velajul proc probably would have won the game for Jenny there.
Absolutely. If that was one turn later, it wouldn't have happened the way that it did, right? Because Velajul was ready to proc out of it, as he always is. I remember Seppi and I did an RTA 101 video, and we actually explicitly mentioned, we're like, if Velajul is stunned, he's gonna proc. He's gonna proc and he's gonna cleanse you. We've all been there. And now look at this. Good luck, have fun. is leading 2-0 and is now at a match point for this third and fourth place game here. Can Vinny clutch this up against Pac-Man John in this next game and confirm the 3-0 over here for them? That would be insane and very well done, but also not unheard of, Sean, because we've already seen that happen today.
Yeah, and Pac-Man John is definitely not on a very good streak today for sure, because he didn't do so well in the previous round. So maybe Vinny is going to use the opportunity that when a man is down, he's going to kick him even further and get a W right now and end the enemy team immediately.
I gotta say though, dude, I'm detecting that like Good Luck Have Fun has been like reinvigorated right now. Like they're reeling from their loss earlier, but now they've come back even stronger. They feel like they're super locked in, doing the Chiwu scan. I don't see
it is there.
Oh, there
Pac-Man
it
John
is.
does have a Chiwu.
Oh my god!
There it is. There's the Chiwu. All right, guys, take it away.
While GLHF is sitting at match point, Skills Over Bills has to pick a Chiwu, so we'll see what Pac-Man John can do. If he's already going for the double AoE buff remover right after the get-go, does have a Soul Bark, but that's about it. No, there's a Lamila as well, but we've also seen Lamila being very lackluster in this mode.
And we have a Vert, a Gapsu, an Artemail. A lot of units could potentially come in between and messed up the Cleave combo. And the Vert is getting picked up together with the Wusa.
That is getting picked up. Pac-Man's looking to answer that with a Shiho here, but that Shiho is only 50 accuracy against 100 resistance Bird and Wusa. Might have some difficulty landing, but also that Lamila that doesn't do that much damage, but still does provide pretty good control. I think Vinny could go for a Chow and a Gapsu here and be pretty happy with his draft, however.
We got a Chow picked up here. Not obvious move is going to be the Wind Monkey, but I think these players are shying away from this unit because it just doesn't do enough for the team. But Pac-Man doesn't have a healer. Maybe Wind Monkey is actually not a bad idea, but he's going for Shizuka. Both Wusa and Shizuka can be very deadly for Pac-Man, because if they get their immunity up, it's going to be a very long immunity duration.
Yeah, Pac-Man does have 2 AoE buff removers in that Chiwu and the Erection that were picked up already in the first round, so kind of has answers against those. But I mean, Shizuka also claps back with all the debuffs that have been so far accumulated in the match, so that's going to be quite deadly there. Pac-Man picking up a Soul Bark as last pick, but that's slightly getting banned out by Vinny, and so is that Chow.
Oh, this game might end very fast here. Pac-Man without a single healer, and his control is not exactly exquisite as well. So it's looking rough for Pac-Man John here, unless Vinny gets really, really bad RNG.
Ooh, the Shiho does land even on the 100 res with that skill to be quite consistent regardless of that resistance accuracy discrepancy there. But that Chiwu does not get the pushback on the moves, so this Convoy has to pick up the slack, and Bird gets a wrench into a double crit, and that's probably game over.
Yep, his last follow-up, the one to keep them all down, is not going to do anything whatsoever, and one Violent Puff from Shizuka in this game is immediately over.
Oh my god.
It is what it is, boys. It is what it is.
Wow, monumental talk from that Shizuka, but Vertihal sitting with the glancing does double glance right there, so we're not completely over. Obviously, Vinny's draft is a little bit light on damage. Shaha does have pretty consistent at 7% of his max HP. As damage, so doing about 7,000 to 8,000 when no HP has been gone down. But Shizuka just getting that turn, more protection on the side. Now that Hood introduction on top of the Wusa, that immunity is coming up very fast.
Okay, maybe the Wind Drinking Water is going to be able to do something, but remember, Vert is standing right there waiting for him, and he's sending the counter attack immediately into the enemy, and Shiho is about to go down. There's nothing to stop Vinny from taking this monkey out of the match. There is that Lamila getting a turn very, very soon. Can she turn this game around for Pac-Man John? Oh my god,
and Vertihal goes off element, gets one crit, which I think was needed. I think double glance that monkey does later, so Pac-Man John really not getting anything going on his way today. Just very unlucky through all of his games, and obviously hasn't gotten a single win, but that is largely not his fault here. As the RNG gods have not been in his favor at all.
Alright, if he killed a bird, maybe. Unfortunately, this is challenge mode. They're also tanking, even with the branding. Oh, the Chiwu with the damage! He's turning the game around! no. Pac-Man John is not ready to pack it up just yet. He's still in the game, guys. It's not over for Pac-Man John.
Yeah, Lamino does get that perfect rotation with the branding into that skill 2 and a lot of massive damage coming out there. Wait, Chibu, I believe, does have skill 2 available. That's going to be taking out this bird or the Shaha. And Pac-Man John might still be actually able to win this game.
Can he do it? Can he take out the bird? He takes out the bird, but his skill right now on Huda. Wusa is back up with the healing, and Shahad is very good at doing damage into these units. So the game is not over yet for Vinny. Vinny get the proc, and he is gonna send his Lamilia home.
What?
Oh my god, the 2-turn sleep from the Wusa and for the
What?
Oh my god, another 2-turn sleep right back at him. Oh my, an eye for an eye, a sleep for a sleep right there.
Some insane match going on. Interesting to see the Drakon where he actually used his skill to just wakes up that Shaha. I don't think that's the correct play right here. The Wusa is also needed up to... Oh my goodness, was it back-to-back stuns, however. Now Wusa does have skills available. Probably should be going for the skill 2 here, as the Drakon Warrior does have skill 3 available, which just be taken in 3. He goes for the skill 3. I think that's game over. I think he loses now. As long as it strips
Chiwu's
the damage.
Oh my god! What? Back to back despair stun. Vinny will be the one falling. Pac-Man John finally turned the games around. Chiwu Force Pick is actually winning every single game in this matchup.
Well, it's not completely over just yet. These are... Obviously, Drakon Boar has no damage on it. He has no additional damage artifacts whatsoever. It does have the defense break, and she would... Oh my goodness, and he has all the despair. And Vinny's out of there. Pac-Man John is not letting go.
Wow. No, Pac-Man John saw this as the key moment for his team, and he clutched it up to get a point on the board to keep them in the running for this one. Wow, Skills Over Bills is still in it, Topa.
They are, and Vinny may have had a crucial misplay right there, using that skill 3 immunity instead of the heal. That ultimately just got Shaha killed for free right there, as that Erection does get that true damage 15%, and it was already sitting on... The Shaha already had a defense break on it. It's not like you're protecting it from any debuffs right there, so really big misplay there. That heal and the damage from skill 2, I think would have done a lot more for Vinny right there.
Yeah, you called it out too. You reminded us. It's like, hey, he's got he's got the skill 3. He's gonna strip that away. Yeah, Sean, that was kind of wild. I also like the part where they were sleeping each other.
Yeah, that was absolutely crazy. I feel like Topa was like in Interstellar, screaming like, "Stop, Vinny! Don't do it, Vinny!" And then he did it. It's like, oh my god, no, Vinny, no!
You were telling him, you were trying to tell him, but he couldn't hear you through the 5th dimension, Topa.
Yeah, unfortunate. And as a result, True Whale, the weight is now on his shoulders to get his team to a victory. Obviously, they have secured themselves at least a tiebreaker here, getting the first 2 matches. But True Whale obviously would like to end it here in the match 4 and not go to that tiebreaker.
Exactly. Yeah, so it isn't entirely over here, even if True Whale doesn't win, because there is always that secret 5th tiebreaker, like Topa pointed out here, if Amante Bandido does in fact clutch it up here. But True Whale would very much like for that not to happen. And like I was saying earlier, I feel like Good Luck Have Fun are really locked in right now. So we'll see what they do in this game here. Take it away, guys, for what could be the last game in this matchup still.
It's kind of funny that Chiu has not lost a single game so far, being a force pick unit. And can he keep up that streak? We shall see.
Yeah, Amante Bandido needs Chiu to keep up that streak, as he does have that monster available in his box. And Amante Bandido has to win this match, as GLHF is still sitting at that match point. And there's a harangue on the Skills Over Bill's side to maybe ease their job in doing so.
All right, Chiu is getting first pick for Amante Bandido. He's not going to worry about it later. He's going to worry about it right now. Chiu getting first pick over that True Whale has a decent option in the Erection and Inverter. We got the Kumar as well. His job looking real good.
Yeah, looking pretty good. Picking just those water monsters right off the get-go. There's not much fire monsters on Amante Bandido's side. He's just gonna go. He's basically just forfeiting a pick at this point. Amante Bandido is just okay. We picking Chibu, and then I'm actually just going to go Bruiser. We're gonna pick up the Horang, pick up the heals from the Angela. Probably going into a Chow here, maybe a Tessarian, or probably a Diana in this instance.
We got a lot of good draft from Truel once again. We got a shot for the damage. We got Kumar for the generic support. Kumar can also Oblivion both the Hwarang and the Angela. We've seen that from previous game. That can easily shut down what they are good at. With Dinah getting picked up here from Amante to counter the heavy water first 2 pick of Truel.
Yeah, Dinah, very solid pick here. Also, Chow quite good into the Shiho and the Werner, ignoring that defense buff that he provides as well. So Truebell could go a couple ways here. He could be looking to ban out this Angela and not have any sustain on Bandito's side and kind of just single target focus his Dinah down. Or he could be banning out the Diana and then going for more of a like an AoE playstyle with the Water Monkey skill 2 and the Gojo skill 2.
All right, with the last pick, I think we know what might be the ban here. Could be the Chow. Could be, yeah, I think it's probably going to be a Chow ban here in this situation because Chow still really went the late game. But I think Amante Bandito, all 3 of his damage dealers scale really well into the late game.
They really do. These are all attack scaling. I think Amante Bandito can ban out this Kumar, ban out the heals, ban out the Oblivion. Make sure those very strong passives on your damage dealers are going to be available here. And he would have a pretty solid game here, I do believe.
Here we go, guys. What is going to be banned is going to be the Hwara. It's going to be the Kumara getting banned out. Truel would not have his healer, and Amante Bandito would not have his light Hwara. Chow and Dinah are still looking really strong, though. I wonder if Truel can actually bring them down quickly enough.
Yeah, this Chow, it's gonna be there. There's no Oblivion anymore on Truewell's side, so those heals are gonna be rolling every time. You can't heal block it or anything either, and it's gonna be cleansing. So Truewell is definitely on a timer here. No heal, so already this Chiwu damage is gonna be important.
Oh, the glancing on the verge. No counter attack as well. Looking really good for Amante Bandito in the first turn because the enemy team is not going to be able to do a lot of damage with all the glancing, and Truel doesn't have any way to get rid of it quickly.
Yeah, no cleansing, no healing. A little bit of protection, but obviously Chow ignores that with the skill 2, and Diana can also just buff remove it with her skill 2 damaging skill. It's looking very good for Amante Bandito right now. We'll see if Truewell, he really needs to pump this damage in order to win this match here.
Also, remember, guys, glancing is not truly devastating if somehow Truewell ignore it entirely and land his debuff and land his crit. Can he do it, though? Here we go, guys. Control sand going in, landing the dots, landing the silence. Looking like a good start.
Birdhell getting 1 crit out of the 2 right there, so a little bit less cycling going on as well as damage. Now Shiho getting a couple stuns there. Dinah is silenced, so even if she does get a proc, cannot go for the transformation here just yet.
Also, he AoE to force this Dinah to move in front of the Angela so that the Angela cannot cleanse Dinah. Dinah get a turn, get a violent proc. But that was probably a very bad violent proc for her because she didn't really achieve anything, and she gave the Shahad more attack power to move because she procced the dot damage.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Shiho, it does move in front of the Chow right there, and Chow gets the additional turn. That is going to be getting rid of the Shiho, and that is one. Wait, not quite yet. Okay, Shiho is still standing here, but Werner would have to stun this Chiwu, not even going with that stun, just forfeiting his Shiho here and going into a 3v4 matchup. It's not looking good for Truewell.
Oh, Chiwu actually providing more value once again. We all thought Chiwu was going to be a very dead pick here, but maybe not quite yet. More AoE damage coming out from the Werner, more dot damage coming out from the Shahad. And I think Dinah's going to go down to the dot, 1 for 1.
Yeah, with that proc on the Werner, huge proc right there. If that proc didn't happen, Angela's right there to cleanse that heal block and the dot. Or, well, I guess the heal block would only be remaining that. But either way, it would be cleansing that monster, shielding it up, and it would be so much more difficult to take it out. And now Chiwu getting asleep somehow, some way. These Chiwus are managing to find some value even in the long game.
This Chiwu, man, unbelievable. Landing a beautiful sleep onto the Shah, but Amante Bandito was focusing on Shah because Shah's the one that's gonna cook Chow alive right there with the dots and the damage and everything. Because Chow don't cleanse all the debuff. He can summon the debuff. If you just let enough dots, the dot's gonna stay and the dot's gonna do a lot of damage.
Yeah, Chow only cleanses 2 debuffs per turn, so you can definitely overload that with the Shaha, as he does have silence and, multiple dots. But his Werner has procced every single turn. It's taking a lot of reflect damage from the shields as well. And with the Chow proc, he's moving next, and that Werner will be in the battlefield. And I'm not sure Truewell can win after this here.
Hey, you never know, man. You never know. It could be. Somehow the challenge is gonna go down to this amount of dots right here. He's putting damage onto the Chiwu, so the cleanse on the Angela is not gonna go into the challenge. The dots is going to hurt.
Yeah, now overloading the Chow with debuffs right there. There's 3 debuffs, 1 is going to stick, but Angela does get a violent proc, more healing coming to Chiwu. Chiwu can apply more glancing, and the Vertical is not providing that much value to do this glancing debuff here.
And the Shaha glancing is not going to do much as well. We might be taking it to a tiebreaker. Chow and Chiwu are doing it for Amante Bandito. Unbelievable performance from Chiwu. Chiwu's getting 100%, I repeat, 100% win rate in today's matchup. And Truewell will fall to the Chiwu for Amante Bandito.
We are going to a game 5, and Chiwu is beating the allegations today, chat. We're turning this reputation around. Amente Bandito taking another win, taking us to game 5. Yeah, Toba, Chiwu having 100% win rate was not on my bingo card for today, dude.
Yeah, that was definitely surprising to see here. And man, GLH was looking so good at the start of that matchup right there. They took the 2-0 lead. They had that second win, after getting 3-0'd by Chaos. They were looking so strong to get that 3-0 themselves. But then Vinny, maybe with a slight misplay, maybe threw that match away. And then Truewell, just not having enough gas right there. Picking the Vertihel also into the Chiwu, knowing that's going to be getting that glancing hit. Might not have been the best option there.
Yes, that's the rough part too, because it's like we've seen Verd work today, and that bar is nothing to scoff at. Like, that's an amazing advantage if you can get it uncontested. However, Chiwu happens to be the perfect contestation for that glancing debuff to counter the crits. That was pretty crazy. Also, Sean, we see more Chow just being inevitable.
Yep, Chow is just unbeatable in some situation. And we saw Chiwu and Chow. I think Chow with a healer is just so scary, especially when Truewell did not pick a healer last pick. So once again, we are coming back to challenge mode being if you drafted a healer or not.
Yeah, that's a good point. If he drafted a healer, I'd like to see that match again with that with the healer in play, perhaps. So chat, again, just in case you didn't see the first time, what we're doing here is now we're going into a tiebreaker match, which is going to be the 5th and final setup in this matchup. So Chiwu is still a force pick for both parties because it's still within this set. So now the teams are going to choose one representative to fight in gladiatorial combat against their opponents, and whoever wins this next one will be the winner of this set and will walk away as the 3rd place in the tournament as a whole here. So it looks like Jeff Boladao has been chosen, as well as Amante Bandito.
Amante Bandito had a very strong performance in that last match right there. And Jeff Boladao, all throughout the tournament, has been a formidable player. So no surprise to see GLHF sending him out here. And yeah, this is it. All the faith in both of these teams lies in these 2 players' hands, as one team will walk away with that 3rd place and the other will unfortunately be left with 4th place.
Dude, we got the Whale Slayer and Mr. Super Saiyan going at it for the final round between these 2 teams. Who is going to take the 3rd place? Who is going to get the Chiwu? Because it seems like who get Chiwu, that person will win.
Yeah, somehow Triton seems to be a curse, but Chiwu seems to be a blessing today. Because Triton just finding ways to lose even unlosable matches, and Chiwu is finding insane value in unwinnable matches. And Jeff Boladao, he did it once. He won with Chiwu earlier. Can he do it again?
Here comes the Chiwu on the side of Jeff's team. He still has some sort of follow-up as well, but not as good as before. He has like the Lamila, he got the Werner for the secondary strip, he got a Carno for the slow. Is he going to lock those units in? We got an Asher for Jeff as well. I think Asher is very underpicked in the challenge mode. I wonder why.
Yeah, sure. For some reason, there seems to be some weird rule with like LD, even 3 and 4 stars. Like we don't see, like we see a Molly and a Kingo and a Amante Bandito. So those are not monsters we see very often, even available to be picked. So sure, it's not often they're even available. So it's gonna be interesting to see if Jeff Boladao utilized that. That would definitely fit this turn 1 style, but still provide you that crucial sustain that is so important in challenge mode.
I wonder what Amante is going to do here against the Werner and the Shahad. He has Dyna, he has Verd, he has Hey Gang. Those are all really good into what Jeff is doing. And we got the Dyna getting picked up by Amante Bandito into a Shizuka. He's stacking up our immunity.
He's stacking up immunity, just going for, the out-sustain route here, trying to survive. So Jeff Boladao picking up on that and pick up a healer of his own or 2, making sure that he's covering his base and making sure that he has at least one healer in this matchup and probably looking to ban out the Dyna right now. So Amante Bandito has to have a very strong last pick here.
I'm really not sure about a Kumar right there because we're dealing with 2 water unit and we are not providing any defense pick for the Kumar as well. So I'm not sure if Kumar is going to be played. There's only 1 unit with a passive over there for now. So Amante Bandito has a very, very good last pick here, I think.
Going for a Solvark last pick. That's also a very nice combo of Shizuka. Solvark does provide threat stay, and then Shizuka can give AoE threat stay, which makes it very annoying for Jeff Blood to target any single unit, as you can only hit each unit twice, and then you have to go to the next monster if you're single target attacking skills.
Okay, here we go, guys. Let's see what's going to happen here. We are going to the post ban, and the ban for each team is going to be the Shahad and the Shizuka. Amante will still keep his immunity, and Jeff Blood can keep his Kumara, but I think Jeff is lacking a bit of damage right there.
Might be lacking a bit of damage there. May have been kind of a gamble ban on Jeff Blood, so that's why probably the timer ran down so far. If the Werner is getting banned out, you don't mind letting this Dyna through, but when the Shahar is getting banned out, this Dyna is going to be quite difficult to be dealt with here.
Alright, Chiu going in. The skill 2 onto the Solvark, but didn't really achieve much with that. I think Jeff is just kind of waiting for the enemy to buff, and then he's going to steal all of them.
Definitely. Wow, Water Twin's not landing anything at all, but the Werner does move in front of this Velajul here. So Werner also kind of playing maybe a little bit of death trap, but no, he opts to go for the skills. Doesn't get any attack bar pushback on the Velajul, however.
Oh, the awkward turn happening right now, but Dyna is going to make sure that she's going to get a proper turn, and because of the Velajul moving after that, she knows that she can go back to the horse form and not be stuck on the squishy human form.
Yeah, and if this Dyna manages to get a violent proc, that might be a dead Werner right away. Kumar is looking to cleanse stuff. No defense break lands on the Velajul, however, and the Dyna gets the additional, but even with that, it might not be enough to take out the Werner.
Somehow this Werner has been resisting everything. Like he's built on a 200 resistance build. We have skill 3 coming out from a Solvark. This is more damage, but the heal from the Kumar is going to make sure that Werner is back to full health condition.
And Werner looking very healthy here. Riley also provides that immunity, so it won't be getting stunned by this twin over here. And now Chiwu does have skill 3 available, so could be looking to remove all of these buffs that Amante Bandito has right now.
Alright, not over just yet. This game's gonna be a little longer than we thought it would be. Dyna with the glancing is not gonna be able to transform, so I think it's gonna be a quick little skill 1 right here. I don't pray for Violent Prow, I just do skill 1 to shake it off. And more damage coming out from Amante Bandito. The heal block is gonna be extremely efficient into the Riley.
Well, no, it's not, because there's a Kumar with the skill 3 cleansing everything, and also even silence the Velajul. The Velajul was getting pretty close to having skills available, and stuns the Diana. So some good control coming out of that Kumar right there. Does miss on both the water monsters, but those are probably the less important ones at this point. And now Jeff Blood maybe with this attack bot as well could be looking to get some damage on this Diana.
Once again, Kumar proving to be very, very useful, providing a lot of support for the team, bringing them out of all these very annoying situations like having heal block, or he can also silence the enemies. So the Villager, when he gets a turn, he's not gonna be able to do much.
Yeah, now Kumar looking for even more value with that skill 1 Oblivion onto the Diana. So Diana, well, it's still silent, so can't really do anything anyways. But now, even if there's any incident or AoEs from Jeff Blood out, the Diana won't be gaining any attack bar.
So even with the tankiness Diana, she's being focused heavily by Jeff Blood out, and she is taking a lot of hit. Even though there's no defense break from Jeff's team, he is slowly but surely cooking this Diana.
Diana with the violent proc, gets the additional turns, shakes the Oblivion, shakes the silence, and almost deletes the Werner from the battlefield. And this battle kind of comes down to who can take out a unit first. If the Werner dies, Amante Bandito wins. If the Diana drops before, I think Jeff Blood is looking at a phenomenal position to take this match.
Are we seeing that one Velajul proc once again, that he can get the opportunity to finish off this Werner? He could do it? No, barely. Oh, the stun! The game is turning around once again.
No, the proc!
Oh no! Jeff followed down. He forgot to turn on Super Saiyan, and Amante Bandito is gonna take away the Werner.
The Werner goes, but that is very unfortunate with Jeff Blood. The Dyna got the proc, and the Solvark got the proc, and that ultimately is gonna lead to the downfall of this Werner here. And I think with that being the case, the Belaju is no longer controlled, no longer silenced, so he can be looking at some healing. Dyna can be looking at some shielding, and this Dyna won't be dropping here. And Amante Bandido is going to walk away with the win, and they kind of did the reverse sweep here. They were down 2-0, and then one seems to be winning 3 games in a row to actually snatch that third place away from GLHF.
And right now, there's nothing Jeff can do. That shield is ultra thick coming from the Diana. And the damage from Villager is also really, really good. He can heal to buy some time, but I doubt he's going to be able to pass through all this protection coming out from Amante Bandido.
Yeah, that shield is so thick, like it's still there. It hasn't even been broken yet. There's no defense breaking your side. Obviously, lost your main damage dealer. Maybe with an attack off Chibu, could he take out the Dyna? But even then, like your damage dealers are fire, so dealing with the water threat of Solbart is going to be very difficult in this game.
Indeed. All Jeff has been doing is to try and take out the Diana, and he's still not done with the task just yet, and the task is only getting bigger and bigger with all these healing and cleansing in between, and more protection coming out from the Villager. I think Diana can just like play the shield route now, and he doesn't even need to transform ever anymore, and that's going to be very beneficial for him.
Yeah, it seems like finally Chibu has met his match, and that is Diana here. A movable object here in Diana. It's not going to be going down. Well, Kumar getting the Violent Proc, another Oblivion, but I mean, the Dyna's HP is only increasing in this match.
I feel like those are to delay the inevitable outcome right here, because you can Oblivion the Dyna, but you cannot stop the Dyna from doing all that shield thing that it can do, and the shield doesn't get lower with your Oblivion, so the shield is just as big on the high defense stat unit as well, which is more efficient with using the shield.
Yeah, it is, and we see that Chibu damage coming through right there, but it's not quite enough to take out the Diana. And even at this point, even if the Diana leaves the battlefield, that Chibu is also gone. And with that, I believe it is Jeff's and GLH's hope of winning third place here. Diana now getting transformed. A lot of damage, nearly one-shotting the Riley at this point. We're not even that late in the game. I believe we're like 40 up, 40 down. But even at this point, Diana's attack scaling is so high. Riley is down, and there's a lonely Kumar left in the battlefield. And Jeff is shaking his head.
Hey man, it is what it is, and it's truly skills over bills in the challenge mode of Summoners World, where everybody can win. GG.
Oh, Amante Bandido is hyped because he just secured skills over bills, the third place position, and sent Good Luck Have Fun all the way down to fourth. Well done, Amante Bandido, and well done to skills over bills as a whole. Man, that was a great way to end that one, Topa.
Yeah, it definitely was. It was really close, right? Amante Bandido got a couple clutch Violent Procs here to take out that Werner, but Jeff Boleda also got quite fortunate in being able to control that Dyna for that long, right? Like the Kumar landed the silence in the Velajul. That Kumar is not super high accuracy, and the Velajul is max res, so, you know, I think it's all things considered, it's quite fair, you know, that Dyna definitely more volatile, and even with just one turn, it was almost nearly able to take out that Werner.
Yeah, it really was. It was well played by both parties, but yeah, Jeff was just not in the best situation there, Sean, for most of it.
Yeah, unfortunately, he could not find a way to do any real damage to Diana. He took way too long, and that is one of the big problems with using Kumar, is that you just don't have the defense break. Even though you're having a lot of utility, not able to kill the enemy quickly is quite a big drawback for these challenge mode draft.
It is. It's something that people are having to reckon with time and time again. Like, that keeps coming up here. Here are the standings as they currently sit for the America Summit Grand Finals. We got Good Luck Have Fun coming in at fourth place, Skills Over Bills at third, and we still have to find out who our first and second placement teams are going to be. We still have the final matchup to look forward to between Chaos and Parceros. Coming up here, these teams are going to field one last time. We're going to see one more round of pre-bans and force picks, and then we will see where it goes from there. Folks, we'll see you right back here for the grand finals after a short break. We'll be right back. Here we go, guys. It's the Americas Summit 2026 Grand Finals for realsies. We are about to find out who the number one team is here at the Americas Summit. Topa, welcome back from the break, dude.
Yeah, we're at the peak of the summit here. Now, who is going to take the crown here? As Chaos has been waiting a long time. They had a quick victory, 3-0 victory, that first game against GLHF, and they are ready for Parceros here in the finals, I believe.
Yeah, you're right, man. Sean, so that's the thing. Chaos has been kind of breezing through stuff recently. There's a lot of good communication coming from them. How are you expecting them to do in this finals?
I can't wait for them to do that pre-select Duke once again. And I think that's going to be very exciting to see because they were the only one who did that and extremely successful at that as well. So they might pull that thing again with the pre-select Duke.
Trailblazers, to be honest, like they are actually doing some they're doing their homework, and now they're innovating even this late into the tournament. You'd think that they would probably save that stuff just for the round robin segment of the Americas Summit and kind of play it safe once they make it to the finals. But that's the like latest, that's the newest pre-ban situation that we had seen. We later saw Chandra make an appearance in the force pick section, excuse me. But it's like, it's really rare to see them start off like that. And I like what they're cooking. They're doing a good job, and it worked out really well for them. So Topa, I personally wouldn't be surprised if we saw them repeat that force pick of Duke again.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. It worked extremely well for them. Obviously, they got that 3-0 victory. But also, Parceros, they were cooking with that pre-ban too, or force pick rather. They were the ones that forced Skills Reveals to pick the Chandra. And although it wasn't as successful, you know, they did come out of that match victorious. And that's why they are here in the finals. So both of these teams that have been innovating, that have been, you know, really doing their homework, really doing the cooking, or find themselves here at the finals now.
And that's the difference that gets you to the grand finals chat too. It's like the nature of challenge mode. It means they have to think on their feet. They have to improvise. They have to work together as a team and play to their strengths. And it shows that improvisation does not stop even when you get to the day of the grand finals. Here are the matches that were set up by the teams. I want to reiterate that because these teams get to choose to field players in each match. Now, they still have their items available to them, so that means they could swap a matchup if they so chose. They also have that pre-ban that we've been talking about, as well as a force pick for their opponents. So while we're talking to the teams in the background, we'll figure out what they want to pre-ban, what they want to force pick, and we'll get that information to you as soon as humanly possible. So I think we're all in agreement that I think I'd like to continue seeing them iterate on that, Sean. I'd like to see the return of Duke. Are you in agreement?
Yeah, because I think they utilize that really well. They force the enemy into a certain drafting position where they could utilize the early pick Shiho into the late game. But I wonder if that's going to work again, though, because it worked so well 2 times in a row that the enemy, if they just watch that match, they realize that, okay, no more Duke and Kumar together. So they could really switch it up and counter the force pick Duke right there.
Yes, exactly. And it makes it a very elemental matchup. Like we said, oh, look at this. It's a very similar situation to what we just saw. So Triton has been pre-banned by both sides. So Triton is off the table for both. And then what we got here is we have a force pick on Chiwu and a force pick on Chandra over here. So now Chaos has to pick Chandra if it's available. And then Parceros has to pick Chiwu if he's available. What do you think of this setup here, Topa?
Once again, I mean, Chandra, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, I guess. Because, I mean, Chandra got them this far in that force pick. But it really interesting to see it come back again. I mean, on paper, you know, water beats fire. So, like, Chandra seems like a stronger monster than Chiwu in this instance. But, I mean, yeah, once again, Parceros were able to defeat the Chandra in their last run against Ghost for Bills. So I don't see why they wouldn't be able to do it again. And I guess Chaos is going a bit more back to basics. Maybe they, you know, threw that cooking out there to get people off their scent. And now they're right back to this Chiwu in the force pick.
Yes. All right. There we go. Yeah, guys, this is how it's going to go. Zazos versus Wallen coming up here in the grand finals of the Americas Summit. Let's see who can get that early dub for their team and set them off to the path of victory here. Topa and Sean, take it away for this one.
Is it going to be Chandra? Is it going to be Chiwu? We saw Chiwu did decently well in the previous round, so it's gonna be exciting to see if Chiwu is gonna do it again. And maybe Zaza is gonna learn a thing or two from not picking a Vert into a Chiwu. But we got Chiwu and Chandra on the wrong side, right?
Yeah, they are on the wrong side, so no one is forced to pick anything, and obviously Zazas cannot pick a Triton. I can't imagine he would ever want to pick that Triton. Zazas actually has all of the AoE buff removers here. Almost. He has Chiwu, he has Triton, he has Heigang, he has Wind Twin Angels, so a lot of AoE buff removers, and this is 0 LD5 matchup, except for Gapsu, but who doesn't count.
Oh, we got a Chow and picked up early. The RGB king himself, Zazas, picking an early Chow right there together with Riley. Looking like a solid draft already into the Vanessa Shiho situation so that he can drag this to the late game. But when with a Chow, I think Shiho is going to be more manageable. So I think Juan's going to be picking up the Tessarian to counter that.
And definitely needs to pick up something to counter this Chow, whether that's the Tessarian or maybe the Werner or Shaha, you know, does have those monsters available. The Wallen kind of taking a page out of Chaos' book here with that Vanessa Shiho first 2 picks that worked so extremely well for Chaos, and then just drag that game into the late game and leverage that Shiho scaling. So Zazas knows that, you know, I mean, his team has been playing this exact team comp, so he should be prepared for this.
Oh, we got a Solvar into no win, looking like is really, really strong at the moment. And for the last pick, it could be anything. And it can be Gapsu for more healing, more cleansing. And I think he has to ban out maybe Tessarian or the last pick potential Angela. But the last pick is going to be a Werner.
Yeah, so Wallen going pretty light on sustain here. Only the Twin Angels, which is not the biggest heal of all time. And I suppose Vanessa does have that revive potential as well. Meanwhile, Zazas does have Riley for very heavy sustain, as well as that Gapsu that's going to be taking some extra turns every time that Twin heals up the team.
All right, now we are going to the post-ban phase. Let's see which one is going to be banned out here. Is it going to be the sustain? It is going to be the Shiho and the Chow getting banned out. So Zeta's going to get a lot of control still in his team with the stun from the Megumi, with the control from the Solvark. Is it going to be enough?
That's a lot of respect being put on the Shiho here by Zayas. I thought that the Thessarian feels like a more problematic monster in being able to Oblivion here, as you do have consistent Megumi buff removal, or you have the Chow that completely ignores the Shiho in this ability. So letting this Thessarian through is gonna be hurting, as now Megumi's dead turn 1 to a Thessarian Violent proc.
That's it. That's Fire Megumi for you. Gone immediately. And without a Fire Megumi, there's going to be way less stun on the Thessarian, which is the main counter to the Gapsu as well. So things looking really bad for Zayas in the very first turn.
Yeah, they really are. Zayas is definitely the back fear. Does get the correct buff removal with that Gapsu right there. Gets rid of the immunity on top of the Burner, and also obviously good damage. Defense base wants that 2 damage. And now the silences are coming up. Obviously cannot be pushing back this Burner.
But unfortunately for Zayas, he can control for quite some time here, but he lack any real explosive damage to really bring down his burner, while this Thessarian roam free.
Thessarian is roaming free. Well, had a slight misplay there. He boosted Thessarian with the wind or the Water Twin Angel skill once. Thessarian actually moved in front of Vanessa this time, and therefore was forced to hit into that Solvark. Had he not boosted Thessarian, he would have been able to move freely, but there was no threat stay available and could Oblivion the Gapsu, but I don't know if it's going to be mattering. But this, oh my goodness, Werner just took 3 turns.
That's a lot of turn, a lot of attack power absorption, and Werner is shaking off his debuff. Unfortunately for the Thessarian, he didn't get that luxury of getting too many turns in a row, so he's going to suffer from that debuff. And there is a silence on the Vanessa, which means if we can pull off a kill here on the Werner, that thing will not be revived.
Vanessa is out of that silence just now and does get a Violent proc, so quickly looking to remove the immunity, but gets resist, so nothing is being removed off that Gapsu with Thessarian. Not doing a whole lot there, as there's no debuff, and Solvark does have skills available already next turn, so he's angling for that silence on the Vanessa once again, and then just take out this Burner.
Oh, Solvark is about to get another turn, but here comes the Twin with a stun. He gets the stun onto the Gapsu, but he needs to force the damage somewhere else so that the Gapsu doesn't cleanse himself right there. So even with a very quick kill early game, one could not get a lot of momentum on Zayas because of the heal and the control coming out from the other 3 units.
Yeah, it really isn't. This Werner is moving, so Zayas probably trying to S1 stunning, but no, goes for the Thessarian. So Werner could be stunning, no, he goes for the skill 2, maybe a misplay there, as now the Solvark is coming with his skill 3. That's going to be putting the silence, but Thessarian getting nice Violent proc, also Oblivioning the Gapsu here, and the shield is holding strong for Valen.
Alright, but the Werner is not going down just yet as well. There's a lot of jabbing back and forth between these 2 players. But finally with the Oblivion on the Gapsu. Oh, quick kill onto the Werner. Switch it back. Oh my god, the counter attack. Keeping that Oblivion long for quite some time right there. Oh, that is not looking good. The Gapsu really need to pass him. Another counter attack from Thessarian.
Wow, I feel like there was maybe a slight misplay there coming out of no, never mind. There was the threat. I was going to say Thessarian could have maybe even taken out this Gapsu there if it was boosted by the wind or the Water Twin S1. But right now, I mean, Zayas, he lost the monster turn 1, but the rest of his team is very resilient here, and Valen's not really finding a good opportunity to take anything out here.
Another counter attack from Thessarian, but there will be a bit of healing coming from Riley here. Riley's going to for the heal. Oh, Riley's going to go for the immunity to try to dodge the defense spread coming out from the Thessarian potentially. There is a revive coming up, so I think he might be keeping it for the Thessarian later, but he's going to use it because who knows when the silence is going to happen, so he's going to use it anyway. And the damage is coming in. Can he bring out his Gapsu quickly enough?
There's a lot of procs on one side as well. Vanessa gets proc there as well, but he used the wrong buff there on top of the Gapsu. Twin Angel does get rid of the immunity, but no defense break. And now Gapsu can get rid of the Thessarian. It gets a Violent proc, and no stun on the go, but Riley has a really good skill 3 heal coming through.
Oh
and
my
Gapsu
god.
quite healthy once again.
This Gapsu is doing everything. He's killing things. He's healing. He's tanking all the hits. He's doing everything. And then there's nothing that Warrens can do to break through this monstrosity that is Gapsu. The Great Wall of Gapsu is standing very, very strong. And his skill 2 damage is stronger than ever into high defense, a stat low HP like Vernon.
It really is. Oh, the miss on the silence on the Vanessa. Vanessa does have revive available once again, I do believe here. A few additional turns here. Jinzei says not be very happy about that. And definitely doesn't want to be reviving here. Now, once save that revive for this Burner when it goes down. But Burner getting another violent block too. Doesn't really remove anything there though.
But I don't think that mattered too much though, because even with 4 units, Warren could not break through this healing control wall. So with 3 units, I don't think anything is going to change the moment the Gapsu get another proper skill 2. That Werner is going to go down.
It definitely will be. So Wallen has to get the opportunity. The game is going longer, meaning that units are getting squishier. They're getting lower in the health. They're at 50 off 50 down now. But it's not going to be enough. The right healing is so much. Everything's back up to full health for Zazas here. He could be boosting up the burner here a little bit with that S1, but it's not enough to move for Capsule. Capsule with that skill to just slurps up the burner. And I believe Zazas will be taking the match with that.
Dude, that skill 2 is crazy. I like to call it like the Gluck 9000 because it seems like he's sucking the life out of like the enemy. But it always pissed me off that Gapsu actually doesn't heal himself when he does that. But the animation make it look like he's about to heal himself, but he doesn't. But he does suck a lot of life away from his enemies with the Gluck 9000.
He definitely does, especially against a defense scaling monster. Not super high on the health. And Zazas confirms the kill on the Twin Angels as well as the victory there.
Yeah, you beat me to it there, Topa, too. Yeah, it's like the defense scalers. You really feel the lack of HP towards the end. So it's like when Gapsu gives him the Gluck Gluck, it's like, you know, they just evaporate. But Sean,
Exactly.
I think what it is, too, I think it reminds me of the Drunken Masters, one more drink skill. And that one, that animation, that one heals. And so Gapsu feels like he should.
Yeah, he's so, and then he's like drink, but then he doesn't heal anything. So
Yeah.
I always thought that they need to buff Gapsu and like the water one back then when they were first introduced, that they need to heal a little bit somewhere in between.
It would be like a thematic, amount of health. It doesn't have to be impactful. Just heal so that it's a little bit flavorful or something. Thank you so much, Woven, for the raid, by the way. Welcome, everybody. Yeah, guys. So Zazas secured the first dub there for the team. Very well played by Zazas. Topa, Chaos is really tapped into the Gapsu, I've noticed. The Gapsu keeps showing up for them over time, and he has performed very well.
Yeah, Gapsu is very strong in this mode. I mean, it's, you know, a lot of healers in general. So Gapsu just gains attack bar from all that healing. And then he can even provide damage, right? So you get kind of 2 birds with 1 stone in Gapsu. You get the healing that you so much need in challenge mode, but you also get that damage. And obviously it's HP scaling damage, so it doesn't really scale too well in the late game. But it's not like it really goes down. And especially against those defense type monsters, it just decimates the Verners.
It does. Yeah, it really, for all the defense scalers, it just eats through them so well. And it helped Zazas stabilize over the course of the game, because honestly, it was not looking great for him in the beginning of that game. In fact, he actually felt a few of those procs, like, viscerally, Sean. Like, he reacted on camera, and it was pretty crazy. Oh, we're already getting into the next game. I'll let you guys take it away.
Okay, let's take a look at the force pick situation here. We do have a Chandra, and there is no... Oh, wait, hold up. They're all on the same side. Yeah,
Chiwu is on Mendieta's side, which he's forced to pick. The Chandra is there too, but obviously that was for Team Chaos to be forced picked, but that's not going to be happening as it is, well, not on that side. And H Season has my 2 LDs on his side. There's a Horang and a Ragdoll, so we'll interesting to see if he ends up utilizing those monsters there.
Yeah, those are looking really strong, and he also have like some of the strong monster in his team as well. On the other side, the Chiwu doesn't really have some crazy follow-up to help him. He has like double immunity, LD5, the least synergistic combination for the Chiwu.
We did see that Chiwu into the turn 2 draft be quite effective earlier as well, so maybe Mendieta is going to be taking that route here as well. Going for that Shiho, though, very turn 1 oriented, could maybe swing into the Chao or a Diana or some, maybe even Angela, right? Just trying to get that healing. Maybe a Tessarian could be pretty good to Oblivion this Horang here.
I feel like Tessarian is kind of like the MVP for today's show because he works into almost everyone because it is 2026. Half the enemy team will have some sort of passive no matter what. So there's always value in Tessarian, and he himself is a very strong bruiser / damage dealer in one unit.
Yeah, that really is the case. Mendieta, however, not going for the Tessarian, going for the Diana instead, as there's no fire units on H-Season's side just yet. And H-Season picking up that Shaha, which is very nice single target damage and control against the Diana. Maybe rounding out his draft with a Fire Megumi. Yep, goes that Fire Megumi. Even more control against this Diana.
This Diana is getting drafted into a wall here. So I wonder what kind of last pick is going to do. But if it's a really good last pick, it is not staying, that's for sure. There's Siren getting picked up. And H-Season with 4 different passive, I don't think he's going to let that Tessarian anywhere near his unit.
Yeah, I could see the Tessarian ban. Obviously, there's also the option of just getting rid of the Angela, so all your debuffs stick, and there's no healing on the side. But I don't think that's really necessary, as like Horang just ignores the shields on his S2, and you have the Megumi that can always steal those shields. So I think just banning out the Tessarian is a pretty safe for H-Season here. And oh, nope, we're going to be seeing all the sustain getting banned out, so we might be in for a pretty quick game here.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I like that. We got both healer gone from the field right there, both going in with a lot of damage and control. Let's see which one will actually stick on the enemy.
I think this actually favors Mendieta in the bans a little bit, because that Chibu, you know, get that glancing, it mitigates a lot of the damage, so it's like damage not taken is like essentially healing in some way, right? So like, okay, well, only really land 2 glances there, however, and Mendieta does have shields from the Dyna as well, so it doesn't really need to transform this. So you could just be going for the shields. They're starting getting a revenge, but unfortunately there is immunity on top of the burner.
Here we go, guys. This is gonna be very scary for H-Season right here because of the Tessarian going into all these passive. If he get a quick violent proc, he permanently disable 2 unit passive.
Yeah, sorry, with the Diva Strike 2, this might just delete the Megumi as we saw in that game 1, but no violent proc this time. And it's H-Season that gets the violent proc on the Shaha instead. Looking to get some silences, and it does land.
Dude, that damage is absolutely insane from the Shahad. And Fire Megumi with the amazing self-cleansing effect of Violent Runes. Take care of the Oblivion and back to being rather healthy. But there is going to be shield skill coming very, very soon, and Tessarian can finish off this Megumi as well.
Mendieta opening that Megumi, not going for the buff removal on the Werner, seeing there's 3 buffs, not even guaranteed to really get the one off that he wants to. But H-Season with a violent proc on the Light Horang, that is going to delete the Diana from the battlefield. Tessarian can answer back with a kill on this Megumi, but you're kind of behind here. Kind of need a violent proc at this point. So goes for the Oblivion, try to win the Horang instead. Oh, and there's the violent proc.
Oh, there it is for Mendieta. Here we go, going in with the Oblivion. A lot of Oblivion being handed out like candies coming out from Tessarian. But remember, there's this Werner just staying quiet, and he is going to cleave all of it. Oh my God, he missed the chance to shut down the defense buff from the Werner. And remember, this guy, even with down his passive, he still can do very good amount of damage. So I think at the end of the day, it's going to be like this monstrosity of a water unit against 2 fire.
Yeah, this is not looking very good. Tessarian had a chance there, got that revenge. Oh, another counter. Can he land Oblivion this time? Doesn't get resist this time, but the Shiho will be going down here. Obviously not on Violent Rune, so cannot proc into protection. Shah won't be doing any damage as it doesn't have the passive. Wait, Tessarian might have a chance here. He needs the Violent proc to do this. Tessarian does not get the Violent proc, so the Horang will be taking out the Shiho. And even with Oblivion, the burner is going to be very difficult to be dealt with. And the Horang is still alive.
There's no way Tessarian is going to beat Water Gojo, right? I mean, it's Water Gojo, right? There's no way it's going to go down.
Right? I mean, the Tessarian, if it was full health, maybe, but you're staring at a 20% hit points against the full health Gojo. It does get a crit there. Nice crit, but when there are debuffs on the monsters, Tessarian damage reduction passive does not actually activate. So you can see that right there. It takes all the full damage, and that is going to be a dead Tessarian. And Chiwu, it's just a lonely Chiwu left. I don't think he has in the tank.
And I think that's kind of GG right there. It's going to take a lot for a Chiwu to bring down a Water Gojo, unfortunately. Which means it's going to be 2-0. Oh my God. Looking really good for Chaos. They might be securing a 3-0 final at this point.
They've been so dominant this final. I mean, obviously getting that 3-0 against the GLHF earlier. Zezas didn't need to play. He, came to play in this final, got that match, and we're seeing a little bit of a Fendu roping here at the end of the match. Shaha confirms the win.
The Mendieta lost and just left the chair. He's just gone. He's just like, you guys are your own now.
What is the reverse pop-off? What's the opposite of a pop-off? HSZN getting the second point for Chaos, and now putting Chaos in a match point position in the finals. That was really well done. Dude, Sean, Mendieta had me cracking up. He was reacting to each proc. He actually got a pretty lucky revenge too. Like Tessa actually did some good work for him, but he felt every proc in his soul, Sean.
Yeah, that was tough, man. I think that's when you have no healers. So every proc is just so much more impactful, because if you add a Gapsu or Riley in there, you can proc on me and then suddenly Gapsu shake his tail a little bit and then boom, back to full health. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think you highlighted something important, right? It's like the lack of healing is what makes you feel extra bad about a proc, because there's nothing you can do to mitigate that damage. I don't know, Topa, what did you think of that game?
Yeah, I mean, nice to see no healers for a change. That's for sure. And the procs, I don't know if they were really the deciding factor, but seeing how close that game came at the end, I think Tessarian's kind of being underrated. And like Sean mentioned, kind of the MVP of the day here too. Just Oblivioning and, just completely mitigating like a lot of damage reduction coming from Oblivioning. Like the Shaha passive, right? Shaha does no damage whatsoever without that passive.
It's true. Yeah, I think Tessa has definitely moved up to one of those MVP monster positions. Today, he has done just phenomenally. Here we go, guys. Stay glued to that screen. This could very well be the last game of the day, because Chaos is in that match point position up against Parceros. Take it away, guys.
We got a Chiwu first pick, Chiwu fourth pick on the side of Meza, unfortunately. The Chiwu force pick seems to be working really well for Chaos. We got a Hagang and Riley. He is pairing Hagang with a buffer this time around, so that's going to be a very strong Hagang pick exactly into this Chiwu pick.
It is definitely going to be that. And once again, Chaos and Lordo, there is no Chandra available. So that force pick that Parcero set up for Chaos has not been in play at all. So this is looking pretty good, facing off against the Chiwu and not having any sort of force pick on your side. Lordo could be securing another 3-0 for Chaos and granting them the title. And now he picks up two very strong bruisers here. And both of these are very hard counters against that Zenitsu that Meza is picking.
Oh my god, that Win Zenitsu is looking like he is dead before we even start the game right here, with this heal block, this Oblivion, this crazy amount of damage, and there's still going to be the last pick, either Kumara or Erection, to counter the Win Zenitsu and Chao at the same time.
Yeah, definitely could be. There's a lot that Lordo can do here, but what can Meza do in response? That he goes for double immunity, definitely the answer against Tessarian, right? But there's already that Hey Gang for the AoE buff removal and Shaha for single target buff removal. So Lordo actually not going for another buff remover, not going for like a Water Twin Angel for another single target buff remover, or even the Erection for the AoE buff remover. Goes for the bird, just trying to get more turn cycling going here.
I think he's planning to ban Chao, and he doesn't really care what Meza actually banned now, because he banned Chao, he focused straight into that very squishy Win Zenitsu. The moment the Win Zenitsu die, it is kind of over, and Meza doesn't have a very strong turn 1-2 because of the Hagang situation over there, and Meza is kind of forced to take turn 1 if he go for the speed lead. So things are looking really good for Chaos at the moment, even though they're not using any healer.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that. There's one thing with that Hagan pick that makes it kind of awkward, is that the Tessarian and Vertihal are not on will. They're both revenge built. The Tessarian obviously being Binded Revenge and Vertihal triple revenge. So you can still quite comfortably throw your skill 3 here and just get glancing on those two monsters. We saw in that True match too just how much that glancing does against this Vertihal.
Dude, that pushback on Hagang is actually terrible coming out of Chiwu. He could have pushed the Hagang up in front of the Rusa, but he was so good at his job, he landed the pushback on the Hagang, putting him into a very awkward position here. Will Hagang go for the skill 3? He landed a beautiful stun onto the Rusa.
Not going for the skill 2 there, as Village obviously does cut right in. but in doing so, the Zenitsu now has a chance of stunning your Heigang. Doesn't go for it, however. Just opts to go for a skill one, trying to get a defense break on this Shaha. Not sure how I feel about that, as Shaha has a chance of Vine procking out anyways, and now the Zenitsu. Yep, there's the Vine proc, and the Zenitsu is already dead.
Oh no, if he glance and then kill, that'd be funny. Oh, I think that's over. The Zenitsu will die regardless of whether the bird is going to glance or not. And I think that...
Oh my God!
Someone put in a Gianna in there. Is that it? Meza is stunned in real life. Look at his face. It's over. It's over. Meza would not believe it. How did that happen to me? Oh my God! After the double despair, we're going to double vial.
Another
it's just
proc
so much.
on the Shaha for Lordo here. And
Double
another double
crit!
crit! I mean, glancing, it can counter the vertical in theory, but then you can also completely ignore it, like Lordo is doing here. And this is just a complete bloodbath that we're witnessing here at this point.
Oh, this is not a match. This is a public execution. That Heigang, the moment he touched the Wusa, he's stunned. He touched the Wusa, he's stunned. He touched the Velaju, he's stunned. This Heigang is boosted by the god himself. Oh my goodness.
Wow, Lordo is laughing his way to the bank with this match right here. He's just in full control that Wusa is going to be done to those dots, and that's going to be even more attack bar for this. Oh my goodness, another one stun from the Heigang on the Velaju. Another violent proc from the Shaha. Okay, Velaju finally getting a proc of his own. It's like come to saying like, here, have a little bit. It wasn't that one-sided. You got a proc too, and there it is, Lordo and Team Chaos takes the title.
Complete domination on the day of the grand finals with double 3-0s for Chaos. Could you ask for a better way for the champion to win the finals, Topa? I don't think so.
Wow, I mean, they came today being the seed 1, and they really proved why they were that first seed coming to today's tournament. And Stay Hive doesn't even need to play in this final match here. He's just enjoying the company of his Brazilian comrades here as they take the title of Summit Champions in 2026.
That was amazing, dude. Such a great final round from them. Yeah, Sean, what did you think of that entire matchup between these teams?
That was absolutely crazy. The force pick Chiwu right into the Heigang in his box just make it so perfect that everything just gelled together from the first day where we did not have the force pick rule into now we have a force pick into the counter play perfectly placed to get this beautiful victory. It's crazy how America Summit evolve every single week.
Exactly. Look at this. There they are, the winners of the America Summit 2026, Team Chaos. Congratulations to Team Chaos. Well played, Parceros, and everyone involved. That was really well done. They walk away with the lion's share of the prize pool. Here are our final standings of the day. Chaos comes in first place with Parceros following closely in second. Skills over Bills in third, and Good Luck Have Fun in fourth. That was a really hard-fought fight from Chaos. Like you said, Topa, they were our top seed. They put in the work. They got the most points. They performed so well as a team, Topa. Like, I can't believe it.
Yeah, that was just great stuff all around. They started off strong with in the first week where we're doing best of 2. They were the only team that were able to get more than 4 points that week, and they kind of kept that momentum all the way through, and really just dominated the tournament and really just showed why they deserve to be the champions here and why we deserve another quote here, I think.
Yes, look at this, SWC 2026 Toronto. Let's go. Then we've got mystical scrolls and crystals for you as well. That's right, guys. So now that the summit has moved on, you can look forward to more competitive Summoners War in the form of SWC 2026, which is actually like just over the horizon at this point, guys. So mark your calendars. We'll hope to see you there. Hope to see you enjoying the tournament. Sean and Topa, this has been so much fun, you guys. Y'all have done such a good job.
It's been a lot of fun, man. I really appreciate the time. The new format is very cool. I think this can lead to a more fun format for Summoners War tournament in the future, because I'm looking forward to the little 2v2 tournament. If you got comms in the drafting phase, imagine the comms in the 2v2. That'd be fun.
Oh yeah, the comms go crazy. Topa, that was so much fun. As always, y'all kill it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been such a blast casting Summit. Thank you for having me here. And I really enjoyed the changing format each week. We had new tools, new rules being imposed every time. So not only are the players greeted with a new set of monsters every time they queue into a challenge mode match, they're also presented with new challenges and new opportunities every single week. So we really got to see the evolution of the meta here within the Summit too, which was very, very cool to see.
It absolutely was. In chat, thank you guys for being here too. Congratulations again to Chaos and all involved. We'll see you right back here next time. Have a great weekend, everybody. Bye-bye.